Hello and welcome to Casting Roles, a persistent D&D campaign played by a bunch of theater nerds. Thanks for joining us. Before we begin, just a few brief announcements. If you're enjoying the campaign, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you think you know someone who might enjoy the show, please share on social media. You can find us on Twitter at Casting Roles and on Facebook at Casting Roles ILM and access all of our links, merch store, and other information at our website, castroles.com. Episodes will stream here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Video uploads will be available on YouTube on Friday the same week. And with no other announcements, let's go ahead and start the show. Ticket takers. After arriving in the town of Northwick to fulfill your final task for a writ of commendation, you are made aware of mysterious disappearances of valuable items from around town. Tracking the rumors of escaping dragon people, you stumbled on a warren of kobolds who were under the sway of a new god. After defeating this cult and befriending Togs, a spokesman for the kinder-hearted kobolds of the warren, Saurus learned of a potential connection between the new god and his own mysterious origins. Discovering communications between this Ahriman and something called A Priori and the leader of this kobold cult, you learned that their representative would be returning to collect the kobold's goods on the second day of the new month. Using your newfound kobold allies, you returned the items to Northwick and made your way back to the town to collect your rewards. Ticket takers, as the sun begins to set on the horizon on your fourth day traveling together, you make it to the town of Northwick, and what would you like to do?
Kaimana is going to get another
Mayor's
one.
office.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then we get the sticky buns.
It's more
Okay,
sticky buns?
alright.
Okay. So you guys
They
head
got
to
to get paid first so we can buy more.
Yeah.
well, I'm just picturing like Kaimana like stopping in front of the bakery. And,
Oh,
like, and, like, just getting dragged along by everybody else.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm waiting for that art, just a cute little otter in front of the bakery, just like.
Oh yeah.
Ace needs to get on that. All right.
It's a lot on their plate.
So you all want to head first to the mayor's office?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
All right. So you retrace your steps and kind of head back over in that direction, and you're kind of there, and the
I will wait outside since I still smell like skunk.
yeah,
No.
it hasn't quite
Respectful.
faded. That's true. Yeah, you need to get some tomato juice or something and fix that.
Yeah.
All right. So
So
Source waits outside. Everyone else is going on inside.
Yes, we will go inside.
Sure.
All right, yeah, and it's late evening, but when you open the door and head into the town hall, the mayor Thomas Malley is still there, and he kind of sees you come back, and he's like, "Oh, well, that's a little bit faster than I thought it was going to be. Did you run into some trouble or what?
Just a bit.
Oh, just a bit. So you're going to need some more time to complete the task.
Oh no. It's all done.
Oh,
I'll pout.
it's done. So what happened? When somebody like to fill me in on the details?
There was some fighting and a little bit roughhousing, and there was two kinds of kobolds that one were nice, one were not so nice.
Do you say
we-
kobolds?
Yes.
Oh, so they weren't dragon people, I guess.
Well, no, guess not.
Okay. Well, so they're nice ones and there were mean ones, and I guess you took care of the mean ones.
Yes.
All right. And what about all the stolen items? Did you guys manage to recover those as well?
We recovered a significant amount.
He kind of is looking around and at empty hands and empty
They're
pouches.
putting
couldn't-
it by the river. We couldn't carry it all, but they're gonna skip town after that, so you probably won't have to worry about them anymore.
The kobolds are doing it. They're bringing it to the end of the town, or you said by the river? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what we said.
So that's good. They probably shouldn't come into
I believe
town.
it's
That would be
correct,
good.
yes.
Well, that's good. Once we can get some certification that the job's been done and we've recovered the trinkets, I'll be happy to pay you the reward and give you your writ of commendation. Would you like to show me kind of where this item or all these items are?
We can point you in a direction. We are a little tired. And I believe my friend here could use a snack.
Okay. And then, so he kind of leans back for a second. He goes, so you can go to the tavern. It's just a couple streets up. You can't miss it. It's the Blue Rose Tavern. And then you can probably get a couple rooms there and let them know I sent you, and they might give you a discount on something. And then in the morning, once I've checked out the spot and we've returned the trinkets to their owners, we can settle all of our scores. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, very good.
Um,
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah.
Perhaps you could tell the townspeople if anything is missing, they could meet us here tomorrow morning if they have any other items that are not amongst the pile of things by the river.
Sure. Yeah, I'll put out word that the items or have been returned so that people can come and claim them, and we'll see if there's anything still missing.
Okay.
All right.
Shall we head off, everyone?
Thank you so much. And he kind of goes back and you tell him the general location of where near the river of where it's going to be, and then he kind of goes back to work. And then, all right, go ahead, Abel.
No, I just said, shall we head off to the tavern?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I guess so.
All right.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. See you in the morning. And so then you all head outside and and then you want to head over to the bakery.
How close is it? Are the tavern and the bakery in opposite directions?
No, so you've been the bakery is just like 3 doors down from town hall, and so you could probably go down and then hit a road that goes up to those 2 streets up where the tavern is.
Okay. Yeah.
Wait, did we get our gold already, or are we waiting till tomorrow?
Oh, we gotta
Waiting till
wait
tomorrow.
until he
Okay.
verifies that we actually did what we said we did.
Okay, I was not paying attention.
All right, so you guys make your way to the bakery, and as the sun is kind of setting, and there's the beautiful like kind of reddish purple sunset, and there's some light streaming from inside the bakery, and you can now see through the window, and you can see inside as the baker's the general store / bakery. She's there, and she's kind of pulling some things fresh out of the oven. And so you can head in, and kind of as this is going on, like Wash has been hanging back a little bit, and you all see a bat fly out of the sky, which is normal around this time of night. But this bat flies down and lands in Wash's hand, and you hear like the bat opens its mouth, and a voice comes out that is not a bat voice, obviously, and Source is the only one who would understand bat anyway. And you hear kind of this voice that says, "Hey, little one, it's good to hear from you. I got some news. Jazz has been spotted. You might want to come check that out." And then the bat flits off away. And Wash kind of hangs back for a second, and as you guys head into the bakery, and you can tell that he's kind of deep in thought.
You having a tough time deciding what you want to eat, Wash?
No, just some news. You guys go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah, it's fine.
You sure? You sure?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
All right, and then so you all head.
You change your mind. You just tell me.
I will.
Go in.
Can we bring you anything back?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
And I put my hands around Kamana and guide him into the store.
No.
Oh, you wouldn't go in the town hall, but the bakery is fine, huh?
Well, there's pleasant smells in the bakery that are going to overpower me.
Right, that's how smells work. They just cancel out. Yeah.
So the moment
Yeah, that
Oh,
doesn't
this
work.
smells so good! Oh my god, what is that?
All right, so the moment you guys open the door, and the moment you do, you hear the voice of, "Oh, I'll be right with you, just 1 second." And she's pulling something out of the oven, and she turns around and she sets it in. There's this kind of steaming, looks almost like a set of French loaves that she's just pulled out. Fresh brown
Yeah, they are.
crust I don't know what that means. With like the cuts across them where and there's steam rising off of it. She's like, "Oh, it's so good to see you all again. You're back for more."
Yes.
Oh well, what can I get you today?
What you got?
Well, we still have some of the North Cross buns, the Northwick ones, and we've got I
They
just
were delicious.
thank you. As I said, if you like them, please spread the word.
Yes. Yes.
And we still have some of the sesame buns and fresh bread as well.
I was to try a sesame bun.
Oh, okay, yes. And she kind of takes one and puts it in a little kind of brown paper, and she hands it over, and she's just like, "That's just 2 copper."
All right, I will pay her 2 copper.
I will perhaps purchase a loaf of bread if you don't mind.
Yes. Would you like a fresh loaf, or that's I just grabbed, or would you like a kind of a loaf from earlier?
I will take a fresh loaf, thank you.
All right. And she kind of gingerly grabs it with some paper and wraps it up, and so she doesn't burn herself. And then she kind of hands it over to you, and she's just like, "That's 3 copper."
Okay, and I will hand over the 3 copper.
Thank you. Oh, and did you all manage to speak to my husband?
We did.
Yes.
He was a very interesting man.
Yes, yes, he's interesting. Yes. Was he helpful at least?
He
Oh,
was
yes.
extremely
Oh,
helpful,
yeah.
yes.
Good. I'm glad he was helpful for you.
Oh,
Anybody
I
else?
picture Marlowe making the same facial expressions as Grace is making. Just in the
Yeah,
background.
100%.
I don't want to be here.
Anybody else like anything?
Marlowe, would you care for anything?
Marla's just like staring at like the like bakery case, like with like sweat bead coming down, like completely overwhelmed by the idea of having to order something.
Oh, she's like an anime character.
Let me.
Yeah.
We will take one
I
of
was-
everything.
Oh, one
Oh.
everything. Okay. So she starts to she takes out like a little bag, and she starts putting one of each item in, and she's just like, "Well, still working out the prices. I think you learned that earlier today, but let's just say a silver piece for the bag."
Perfect. I give her a silver piece.
Thank you very much. And she
I
hands it
hand
over.
the bag to Marlowe and just say, once you figured out what you want, I'll take the rest.
Oh. Thanks.
If you want to sample all of them and then decide, that's okay
No,
too.
that's I'm good. I'll figure it
No.
out. Thank you.
I was going to
I
share.
don't mind leftovers. I'm a rat after all.
That you are.
A very valuable rat to us, Sodus.
So can you like stand back there?
I will exit the building.
And she has like you have noticed that like as like Saurus moved forward to pay, like a look did come across her face, and she's been standing right over these fresh buns, and so that probably masked a lot of it. But there was definitely like a weird. And then as you're leaving, she's like, "Oh well, thank you again so much, and I hope that your journeys have brought you great success."
The mayor is
thank-
going to be calling people in the morning to get their things back that have been taken, so you should be getting all of your stuff back.
Oh well, that would be lovely. Yes, like I said, we've lost some gifts from my parents and from my mother-in-law, as well as my husband's wedding ring, apparently. So it would be lovely to get those things returned, at least the gifts.
Yes.
I don't know if the wedding ring was among the items, but
No, okay. We don't have to talk about that though. I'm sure you'll find the wedding ring. I'm so sure about it.
If I find an unopened box that says something like salad shooter on the side of it among all the cobalt stuff.
hilarious.
Crate and barrel.
Oh Lord. All right, so are you guys kind of heading back out?
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you so much. And spread the word. Northwick buns.
Which way is the tavern?
Oh, the rows. If you go out of the door and kind of head right, you'll come to across a T street. And if you take that right, it's on the corner, just a couple blocks up. You can't miss it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. She kind of starts waving something over the bread to kind of cool it down a little bit. And she kind of goes
Keep
back
this-
to her work.
Waft the stench away from it.
So perhaps this tavern has a bath, so we can get to
I hope so.
All right, so you all make your way, and when you get outside, like you kind of look around, and Wash isn't immediately visible.
No,
and
Wash.
You call and there's no response. And then you kind of head down and turn and make your way, and you get to another building. Like again, all the buildings in Northwick are very, very similar. This is like Town Hall. It's just a little bit larger. Has some some posts at the front, and there's a very pretty painted sign with a rose on it in front. And so you recognize this is the tavern.
You said the Blue Rose?
Yeah, the Blue Rose Tavern. And then when you enter in, it's fairly lively. There's 5 or 6 tables, and 3 of them are taken up by a couple pairings, like one single person here, and there's one table with 4. There's a male dwarven figure who's kind of walking around with like 2 trays of glasses that he's carefully balancing, and then there is a half orcish female standing behind the bar, and she's like slinging drinks and wiping the bar down and all those things. There's no music or anything, but there's a loud sound of conversation and kind of excitement as the day goes. And the moment you enter in, there's a general turn and look in your direction. But a lot of people travel through Northwick, and so they kind of all go back towards what they were doing.
Most
after
of them don't have an ambulatory giant rat and and
Most of
furry
them
with
don't
them.
look or smell like we do.
very good.
You haven't gotten close enough for the smell to bother anybody yet, but
No.
but
Give
in
it
general,
time.
there's not. Yeah. And so you kind of come in, and the tavern space is yours to explore and interact with.
I will go
Okay.
up to the barkeep and inquire as to, say we're interested in rooms, and inquire as to whether they have a bath.
Okay, so you walk up, and the half-orcan female, she's kind of got like this bluish green skin that kind of has almost an ombre to it in certain places. She's sleeveless. She's ripped, like her arms are just like muscled, and she's got some cool tattoos. But her hair is in like braided pigtails, and it's like this like shocking red color that she's apparently dyed. And she looks over and she's like, "Ah, yeah. There's rooms. We have nobody staying tonight, so we've got about 5 rooms available. However many you'd like to get."
How much are those rooms each?
Well, they run about 2 silver a night, unless you would like to have breakfast as well included, and then it is 2 silver, 3 copper.
The mayor told us to say he sent us over.
You're doing some work with Thomas. Okay. Let's just say then breakfast included for free.
Oh, thank
So
you.
just 2 silver for the room.
It's very generous, yes.
And do you have a bath?
And
I had an unfortunate encounter with a skunk.
and she's finally kind of focusing on it, and like this smells like a bar. There's the general smell of stale beer, and somebody probably got sick at some point, and she's just like, yeah, it does seem like you might need a little bit of bath. Yes, there's one on the 3rd floor. It's shared, but since you would be the only ones here tonight, it would be all yours.
I will take a room, please. Kamana, do you wish to share or have your own?
You can bathe by yourself, Source.
I thought you might enjoy a dip in the water. However, would you care to share a room?
Yes. Should be fine.
Okay, so that's one room.
I
Two silver.
wasn't even adding that guy.
I'll get a room.
All right.
Yes.
So 2 silver for you as well, and then Abel, you're getting a room by yourself.
Yes, I will also get my own room.
All right, so that's 2 silver there. So 3 rooms, 6 silver. And she.
And we may have another
Yes,
member of our party will be coming to join us, so they'll need
Okay.
a room as well.
Yes, just you let them know. How would I recognize them? Is there? Do you have a name for your party, or a name for this person, or?
yes, he is a very large, brightly colored dragon king. What are they called?
Dragonborn.
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 All very
Oh,
different
that's his
things.
Yes. And if he asks, he will ask for us as the ticket takers.
Ticket taker. Oh, that's a
Yes, the
very
ticket
interesting
takers.
name. Okay, yes, I've got that. Good. And she hands over the keys. And then she's like, if you're not going up to your rooms now, anybody want a drink or something to kind of wet your gullet?
I want something to wash down this fun.
Okay. What can I get you there, little guy?
And I go ahead and head up to the bath.
Okay.
What do you have on tap?
Well, we've got a nice ale that comes straight from Mount Adronis, made by the soldiers there themselves. It was freshly delivered just a few days ago by a orcish friend of mine who was traveling through with some soldiers. So you sent some Mount Adronis ale.
That sounds good. Let me try that.
Good. And so she takes out a tankard and kind of loads it up, and it's kind of this deeply amber colored, a little bit kind of a hoppy smell. She passes over to you, and she says, "First one's on the house, as friends of the mayor."
Mahalo.
I will have the same, please.
Okay, and she passes one over to you as well.
I'll say.
How big is the tanker?
Good.
Is it are we talking big old beer? Like
to her, it was probably a large tankard. To you, it's a very giant tankard. Yeah.
No.
Am I just gonna have to stand on the stool and shove my head into it to like drink it?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely having to hold it with both hands, but yeah.
If Kaimana looks like he's struggling, I'll just kind of like hold the bottom of the cup so he doesn't drop it. It's not like force it into you, but just help you out of it.
Chug.
Based on strength, I have a harder time with the taker.
That's true, but I'm gonna act like I'm helping.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna pretend like there's weight there.
And then there is an open table if you all want to make your way to a table and sit down with your tankers.
Oh yes, just for the image of like Kaimana walking with a tanker that completely blocks his field of vision. Like, knocking into chairs and
We're just
shit.
guiding him along the way.
It's probably 6 inches tall. So for you being
A picture.
so,
Yeah.
so,
I will slide 3 copper at the barkeep.
okay, and she's kind of turned away for a moment. She's like wiping something down, and she's pouring a drink, and she kind of turns around at the last minute while you're doing that, and she kind of just nods in your direction a little bit. Thank you, and a little half smile. And you can see like her tusk is like gold capped on the end. And so when she kind of winks and grins at you, there's just like this glint of gold that kind of shines.
I go red, and I immediately walk away to go sit down.
So you guys kind of take your table, and there's loud conversation happening around you. There's a table where there's a couple people playing chess, and then there's just kind of braggadocious shouting from a couple groups, but you guys now have a table that's all to your own. Saurus, as you're heading upstairs, you kind of the first stair set, you look down a hallway, and there's 2 doors, and then the stairs kind of double up again to another short hallway with 2 doors, and then the stairs double up to the top. And at the top floor, there's only 1 door, and it's open when you kind of push it through. It's a small bath area, kind of a large wooden tub, and there's a kind of a spigot that you'd have to fill it up with. But it does look like that there is a heating element that's embedded in the bottom, so that it will heat up the water after you've filled it up.
I fill it up and then dive in.
There you go. And so it's and there's soaps that were left behind or complimentary, you don't know, but they're there, and you have available to them, and you get clean and hopefully smell a little bit fresher afterwards.
I'll also wash my clothes as best I can while doing it and hang them out to dry.
Sounds good. So you guys probably don't see Soros for the next hour or so as he's up there cleaning up.
Okay.
But you're enjoying your tankards at your table.
Yes. I will just slowly sip my beer. I do not want to become intoxicated.
Okay.
And look around and kind of feel the room out. I wonder what is holding Wash up. The talking back was somewhat odd, no?
It's not usual for him.
I guess we will give him some time. If it is a personal matter, I do not want to impose.
Yes, if I not finish half my beer, then we go look for you.
Okay.
And
Yes.
Solid plan.
I will carry you out, my friend.
as you're drinking, there's the Mar would definitely know Mount Adranus, and you know that it's famous for being the center of Mount Adranus is the largest volcano in Alyria, and it's also where the Radiant Legion does most of their training. But you can kind of taste it almost as like it's a weird. It has like there's a spiciness to it, but it's still really refreshing, and it's almost like it was aged with charcoal or something. There's this like burnt kind of smoky essence to it as well. It's a really interesting ale.
Activated charcoal.
Activated
Good.
charcoal.
It'll
like,
cure you of everything.
Yep, fresh
It's
breath,
true.
white teeth. Yep.
Good for your gut health. Yeah.
Yep.
Would Abel know the Mount Adran? What is it, Mount Adranus? Is that the one we talked about with the school of?
Go ahead and roll a history check to see if you remember your Illyrian geography. Not being from
Did you
Illyria.
pay attention in class?
Probably not. History.
Yeah.
Herstory. I don't know why.
Really got me. Just out of nowhere.
It sounded like something Thor would say to Valkyrie.
No. It's her story, and then she just like punches him.
I rolled
That's what heroes do.
a 16 plus 3.
16. Okay, so 19. So yeah, Mount Adranus is not the same location as Cindervale.
Okay, no.
Mount Adranus is like if you think like when you're like a 3-year-old and you're first learning like what volcanoes are and you're drawing them, like Mount Adranus is like that. It's a tall, imposing mountain, a very active volcano. You know that Cindervale is in an old, mostly dormant caldera in the mountains.
Okay.
It's several thousand miles, or maybe 1,000 miles away from Cindervale.
Okay, nowhere near Cinderville. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta love the hubris of people that are just like, yeah, let's live in a volcano.
Who would survive in a volcano like this? A dragonborn?
There are a lot of dragonborn in Mount Adranus. You know that. That area of Alyria has a large dragon population. So like, as you're kind of thinking about it, like the Riverlands, the place that you're in now, as the realm of Tanatsa, is filled with animal folk. That's probably why like, you know, the otter and the mouse or the rat haven't been getting a lot of weird looks. You guys have seen a lot of tabaxi. Like that's a very common sight in this area. Mount Adranus is a lot of dragonborn, a lot of hobgoblins, a lot of bugbears and types like that there. Orcs.
So I would feel very out of place here.
In the Riverlands? No, I mean, like this is a relatively mixed area. Yeah. There's just the animal kin tend to kind of make this place home because they tend to also be followers of Tanatsa.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I just want to sort of fill the room out and see maybe the game of chess might be of interest to me.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check as you're looking around the room.
I will roll a perception.
How much have you drank, Kaimana?
no one's stopping him, right?
Not actively.
A fully grown otter. Don't you
I
want
just see him kind of going into the cup as it gets lower and lower, rather than lifting the cup up.
And then at the end, his little feet are just kicking in the air.
Well, no, it's like it's a pitcher, right? So he's got
Yeah.
incentive to drink more because it's going to get lighter and easier for him to lift.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah. I rolled an 18 plus 2, 20.
All right. So as you're kind of looking around, most of the folks here look. There's a couple half elves who are not half human, half elves, half dwarven, half elves.
Ah.
And there's a and those are the two that are playing chess. There's a human couple that look like maybe they're on either their first date or love has not died for them. Over in the corner.
What a description.
That's a great description. I love that.
And then there's like the one person who's kind of sitting all by himself is an older dwarven fellow with like this beard that is braided in the front. And he's got two tankards in front of him, and he's just kind of alternating sipping from each tankard. And so that's kind of around. The chess game's happening right next to you, and it's very clear that the white chess set is losing. And if they play the same way that you guys play in Nuevia, he's maybe 3 moves away from winning.
Okay, so I will with my my mug of beer in one hand. I will walk over and just kind of stand at the table and watch. And if I see the white chess player about to make a bad move, I'll just kind of.
And so, like, you're watching, and he like picks up he picks up the king piece to move it out of check, which it's currently in. The king piece looks very similar to the one that you guys found earlier. It's just a little bit smaller, made out of a different wood. And he's moving it to the side, and he hears you do that, and he kind of like glances up, and then he looks back at the board, and then he moves it diagonally a different direction. And the guy on the playing with the black pieces kind of looks up at you and says, "Hey, I don't think you need your help to lose."
No, I would never, sir. I was just clearing my thoughts. It's a very interesting game.
Oh, you played chess before, or is this new for you?
Yes, my former teacher, he used to make me play every day.
It's a good game for keeping your brain sharp. And as the white
Absolutely.
chess player moved, and while he's talking to you, he's barely even looking at the board. He kind of grabs one of the queen pieces and drags it across and claims the last knight piece from the white player and sets that to the side.
I see you're a very aggressive player.
Yeah, that's the best way to win in dragon chess.
Dragon chess.
Is that not what they call it where you come from?
No, in Nuevia we do not play dragon chess.
Hmm.
I've seen a set similar to this one. Where did you purchase this set?
I made this set. I'm a woodworker by trade. And then there's a couple more moves, and he puts the other player in chess as he's talking to you as well, or in check. And the player with the white pieces is now looking at the board where he's in check, and he's kind of glancing up at you again, like, "Are you gonna help me out again?"
I'll take a look down at the board, and I'll just kind of tilt my head a little bit, see if he gets what I'm, he's picking up what I'm laying down.
Roll 2 checks for me really quick. Roll a general intelligence check, and then roll a sleight of hand check.
Intelligence, pretty good intelligence. No, let me see.
Google just thought I told it to do something.
Okay, I rolled a 15 plus 3, 18
On
for
intelligence.
intelligence.
Okay.
And then what was the other thing?
A sleight of hand.
A sleight of hand check, yeah. Oh no. 11 plus 1, a 12 for sleight.
So you clearly see, you can kind of in Nuevia they have a name for this maneuver that this guy's doing, and you can kind of clearly see that there is an escape route for it. When you go to subtly direct to the man where he should move his pieces, it doesn't come across as subtle at all. And the player with the black pieces goes again, like, he doesn't need your help to lose, but you can have the next game if you'd like.
I may enjoy that, yes. Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
chess piece that we found with the dragon
Oh, you're
inside.
asking me. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Asking you.
Yeah.
DM, please.
Yes.
With the chess piece we found with the dragon, um, was that just part of the trinkets that were missing, or
So you found it on the altar,
yeah?
whereas all the trinkets and things were in a pile kind of further behind the altar. So it was
So-
definitely kept separate from everything else.
Hmm. And how
It-
similar are the pieces that he made to that piece that we found?
So they're much cruder. They're not as ornately and beautifully carved. They don't have any metal attachments. Like the piece you found had kind of metal embellishments to it. And his king piece, while it's recognizable in shape as a king, the one that you all found has a dragon, kind of that dragon head emblem or look to it. This one is just a crown.
Oh,
So-
okay.
So there, I mean, it's obvious that you found a chess set, but this is his chess set doesn't look like the one that you guys found, and it's also made out of like really cheap wood.
Okay, so he probably did not make both of the or make the set that was found on the altar.
You get the sense they're probably not made by the same hands. Yeah.
Okay, well in that case, I lose somewhat of my interest in the game.
All right, and then so you kind of do you walk away from them as you're going?
Yes, I pat the white chess player, the one with the white pieces,
Mm-hmm.
on the shoulder, and I say, "Good luck, my friend," and I just walk away.
And you just kind of okay, and as you're walking away, you hear checkmate, and then like it's over, and there's a quick exchange of a couple coins, and then the two of them go to the bar to re-up on their tankards.
Okay, I just go and sit back down with Mar and Kaimana.
Kaimana, who probably roll a Constitution saving throw for me. Kaimana.
Con's not. Well, actually, I think my con's not the best.
You got some pretty good stats.
My stats are pretty good. Con is not one of them.
Oh,
It's a positive number, but it's the lowest one. That's a nat 1. So that's a 2. That's a 2
it's
on that.
really
roll.
good beer.
There was a
Kaimana-
moment where you started to like tip the jug or the tankard back, and you were like, "Oh, it's fine, I have control," and then no, you didn't, and it just started to like just pour into your mouth at a much faster pace, and you're like guzzling it down.
Kaimana, we're in public.
You are
can't.
definitely
No.
like if drunk has the same thing as exhaustion levels, you're at like the first level. of drunk.
Oh.
Tipsy.
I'm actually like reciting or like reenacting adventures using the tableware,
Yes.
like the stage.
You have immunity.
Mar
to
is like
fear, but-
sinking into the table if anyone's looking and like pulling the hat down. Like
No.
does not want to be associated with what's happening.
At some point,
Marla
I
was
do-
casting,
yeah.
Marla was casting invisibility on self, but she doesn't know the spell.
Right, yeah,
Trying.
but has no spell to use.
And this was Ma, right? Ma was like, "Oh no, the pretty
Is that
old
what you
lady
think my
runs
voice
the
sounds
bar.
like?
Oh,
I
wow."
really have to know if that's what you think my voice sounds like, because I don't think it is.
This is so entertaining. Oh,
I'm glad one of us is enjoying this.
Kaimana's hammer.
let him have his fun.
He's not necessarily obsessed with accuracy at the moment.
At that moment, you kind of hear a laugh over your shoulder, Mar, and then
Mhm.
like a blue, muscly arm sets another tankard in front of you and says, "Ah, your friend there's got some pretty interesting stories." And the bartender is handing you another drink, and she makes her way back towards the bar and kind of gives a wink.
Mm.
Mhm, yeah, I say if she's gone. She's gone when I say that.
Do I notice that, DM?
Roll a perception check with disadvantage.
Oh, don't give him this.
He's really occupied by his own
He
reenactment.
is.
Yeah.
12.
You definitely notice that there's an interaction. You don't catch the wink though.
Who would that, Ma?
This is the barkeep. We talked to him like a couple of minutes ago.
Oh. You
She may
think
be a new friend.
maybe gets me another one? I spilled some.
Yeah, I can. I can get you another one. That's
Yeah.
fine. I will go to the bar.
She sees you coming and she's like, wow, you done that second one real quick if you're back
No,
for another.
it's my. I was just gonna pick one up for my friend,
Uh-huh.
my little guy.
She kind
over
of
there.
she looks over and she's like, I don't know if he can handle a second one.
Yeah, you want to water it down? Actually, that'd
That's
be
probably
helpful.
a good idea. And so she kind of goes back and she pours it a little bit of the tankard and she does splash some water in it as well.
Thank you.
No problem.
Or just give him a smaller glass. Like,
Very true.
You don't get smaller glasses in Germany, buddy.
Children's cup.
Big stein or go home. Yep.
You you tried the Northwick buns? Pretty good.
Shit. The buns?
Yeah.
At the bakery.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, they are. They're sweet, you know.
Yeah.
Did you like the buns?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. You got a little something in your throat.
Oh no, it's just yeah, I gotta go wash it down. Actually, I run back to the table.
She just smiles and goes back to kind of wiping. She does a lot of wiping. I feel like this is all bartenders do. They like pour drinks and then they wipe the bar.
That's all I do. I mean, essentially, my job is when I don't know what else to do, I just go back to NPC mode. Just wipe
That
it down.
actually, as Sago, that reminds me of Picasso at the Le Panagio, where Grant and Amanda behind the bar. They're like, "I'm back here. What am I doing?" And I was helping get props, and I brought in like 3 or 4 cloths. They're like, "Oh, thank God, I can wipe the bar."
Wax on, wax
And they
off.
seated them around, so no matter where they were on the bar set, they could just reach down and pull out a towel and just start wiping. Grab a glass, wipe it, put it back.
you turn into that animatronic cowboy from Westworld.
Oh.
A fair number of shootouts in my time. To say. Yeah, let me know when you're back at the table, Mar.
I am back at the table now, and I'm gonna actually. Alright, yeah, buddy, here you go. Don't drink it all too fast. And I'm gonna actually I'm gonna pull out one of the Northwick buns and start eating it.
Okay.
In my little bag that Soris got me. I'm gonna eat that one.
It's interesting. It seems like this batch, instead of using the honey that she had used before, she used some kind of sweetener. She's obviously testing out recipes. It's still delicious, but it has a very different flavor to it.
Yeah.
Kind of floral,
Nice.
like sweet rose water or something.
She's experimenting.
She is. She's going places.
We're so excited for her.
Kaimana's just going to like sit up suddenly in his chair.
Okay.
Be like, where Wash?
Remember Wash was taking a moment outside.
Wait, he not back yet?
No, and you specifically said if you had more than half a beer, and you've had like 1.5. Now, I don't know how you drank the other half of this so fast. It's been seconds.
Practice.
And
I believe
Kaimana's
you.
drunk.
Do you think we should go looking for Wash?
Yes, he's our friend. We go looking for our friend.
Maybe we all shouldn't go looking for him.
I'm gonna try to get out of my chair.
Oh,
Okay.
Dexterity
roll a
save.
Dexterity saving.
Oh no.
Because the
Can I
chair,
be there to catch him?
the chair is about as tall as you are, so
Can I be
Is
there
it,
to try to catch him? I don't
is it with or without a disadvantage?
with disadvantage, yeah.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay. That is. Thank you, Dex. That's a 17.
17.
Ooh.
Okay. There's like a weird moment where you all are just 100% certain that Kaimana's chair is going to flip out from underneath him, but he, almost like a cat, just lands on his feet and kind of makes his way towards the door.
Wait one moment. May not be the best idea for you to be wandering around in the dark right now. Why don't you?
I see just fine.
Oh no!
Clearly
No.
not. No.
You could go lay down.
I'm good. I'm good.
No.
Hey, give me my keys.
There are no keys. There are no keys. I just perhaps you could go find Soris and check on him while we check on Mar. No,
Yes, send him up 3 flights of stairs.
I
better than him wandering through the.
Abel, I'd pick him up, but it's not gonna go well. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
real.
I have seen him fight. He is very feisty. I do not want.
Oh, I just meant based on my strength alone. But yes, also, if he were to fight me, it probably wouldn't go great for either of us.
Do I need to make additional checks to navigate these 3 flights of stairs?
Are you heading up the stairs?
Oh yeah.
Let's just do a general let's do just a dexterity check to see if you can maintain your balance as you're climbing the stairs.
Disadvantage again.
Disadvantage, yeah.
I'm gonna need a bath by the time I get up there. Okay, not as good. That's a 11.
11. Okay, it's still a success. You climb the stairs better than the average human being. So you guys watch as as Kaimana goes up the stairs. There's this he's going from side to side and ponging off of the walls, but he is making his way steadily up. And eventually, Kaimana, you do arrive on the 3rd floor, and there's just a door in front of you that's closed.
The tankard's with me, right?
Oh, of course, you took it with you. Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. I'm going to knock on I'm just gonna open the door. Yeah.
Okay. Did you lock the door behind you, Source?
Naked
No.
rat.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
naked rat.
You open the door and you walk in, and there's a tub that's about 3 feet tall in front of you, and just kind of.
And I'm pulling a Geralt.
Okay. Totally naked rat. Just a naked rat. Just.
All right.
Just the tail flopped over the side.
That's
I
what's
get-
flopped over the side.
I get in the tub.
Open the tail.
Can I help you, brother?
Soros, I found you.
Oh my god, yes.
It sent me to find you. I found you. Do you like beer? I think this is some of the best beer I've ever had. You should try some. And I'm gonna hold it out across the tub to Soros.
And I take it gently from him. How much beer have you had?
More than that.
I take a little sip to see just how strong this stuff is.
It's fairly strong.
Josh, does shape water affect alcohol?
Yeah. It's a liquid. We'll say it's mostly water. So yeah.
All right, yeah. Kaimana's gonna kind of lean back in the tub and just take little swallows of little globes of beer out of the mug and just
All right, so like 0G, drinking
Yeah.
water, 0G. Yeah, absolutely. So these little, you're just watching bubbles rise up out of and go right into Kaimana's mouth.
Don't
Can
you
this
think you
episode
had-
be called Beer Bath and Beyond?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Write that down.
Oh my gosh.
You came to find me for a reason,
Yes.
and that reason would be.
Give me a moment.
I put my hand on top of the beer.
No, it helps me think.
That's your reward for when you remember.
Soros.
Why did you need to find me?
Because Mars said I should.
And why did Mars say that you should?
So that she would know where you were.
But she knew where I was. That's where she knew to send you.
I didn't know you were upstairs. I tried 6 doors before I got here.
And I hand the beer mug back to him. And I get out and I dry myself off and put on my wet clothes. And
There you go.
are you going to stay here or are you going to come back down?
Oh. I'm just thinking about those stairs.
You're welcome
Have you-
to stay in the water.
You guys watch videos of like otters going down a slope of like snow.
Oh my goodness.
He likes water. Yeah, he'll stick around here for a little bit.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's warm. Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
it's warm and it's kept kind of warm. There's that heating element at the bottom that's keeping it relatively warm, so it's nice.
smells a little weird, but
Yeah, the water does have a faint fragrance of skunk that's been washed off of Saurus, and also wet rat, and now wet otter. So it's a nice little melding of smells.
it's a good bouquet going on.
Yeah.
I'll squelch down to the main floor.
Okay, leaving a puddle steps as you're walking down. And,
Well, I dried off, but
Yeah.
but my clothes were still damp.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have had time to dry, so
so you get down.
it's
to
very
the-
uncomfortable.
And you guys see Saurus return with no Kaimana.
Oh god, what happened?
Is he okay up there?
He was fine when I left him in my bath.
He is an otter. He would enjoy this. Yes, this is okay.
Why did you send him to find me?
He was gonna go try to run around town and find Wash. Didn't seem like the best idea.
That's actually to go look for Wash is a good idea. In his current state, it was a bad idea for him.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were gonna go try to see if we find him. If you want to tag along.
Great. Someone should stay here, I think, for 2 reasons. 1, to keep an eye on Kimana, and 2, in case Wash shows up and is wondering where we are, you can let whoever's here can let him know that we're out looking, and then that we'll be back.
I can hold back. Keep an eye on him.
Very well.
Talk to that bartender.
No.
Get it.
Bow, bow, now.
Abel wants to
Oh,
love interest.
yeah.
At that moment, Mar, you just kind of glance over, and she's picking up a new cask and just hefting it up on her shoulder. And there's just this ripple of muscle. She puts it down and taps it, and then pours another drink for the
Oh my.
older dwarven figure.
Mar downs the last of her drink.
She's like,
I'm
she's
gonna
like,
make a perception roll. Nope, completely clueless.
Would Abel have noticed this this courting display?
Roll an insight check.
Okay, insight.
Can I roll deception to try to keep cool?
Are you actively trying to hide?
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm not trying to be
Oh.
obvious.
Yeah, go ahead.
But
she's just
this
like,
might
yes.
this might work out in your favor. My deception's not great.
Yeah, well, I just rolled an 8 plus 2, a 10. So
I rolled a 10 as well.
Okay.
'Cause I have an 11 minus 1.
So there's
it's a stalemate.
it's a stalemate. Yeah, you're kind
We're
of
just both staring each other down.
you pick up on there's definitely a weird energy that's kind of popping between the bartender and Mar, but you don't quite get the full feeling of the energy of and what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
She's
lean
What it's like to be in a
over.
party full of men.
Yeah. I'll lean over to Mara and I'll say, if that bartender gives you any trouble, you let us know. We will
What?
take care of it.
Oh, yeah. Will do.
And that's turn the service. Shall we go and look for Wash?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you head outside. Whoever wants to kind of helm the search, the search for Wash, can roll a perception check with advantage, or you can roll
I
separately.
I have superior dark vision,
Yes.
which means I can see clearly for 60 feet.
Okay.
What you
my
got,
goggles.
Abel?
I got my dark vision goggles, but you can. I mean, my perception's like a +2, so
Mine's +3, so
okay. And
I'll
I'll
roll.
just
The phrase "dark vision goggles" just makes me think of swim goggles with just painted out black.
yeah, it's basically what
Like a
that-
tinted car window.
Yeah. I can put these on when I don't want to see anything.
Yeah.
This is the rose tint. This is the dark vision.
Uh-huh.
My first roll was a 4. However, my second roll was an 11, which gives me a 14 altogether.
Okay. So the two of you kind of walk around, and over the course of the next 30 minutes or so, you are walking down streets and up streets, and they do have some street lights here that are just simple, lanterns that are lit each evening.
And I will start playing my piccolo as we walk,
Okay.
Ah,
So you're
smart.
playing your piccolo, and
listening for the sound of bongos matching the beat.
and so eventually you kind of make your way back towards the edge of town to like the little bridge that goes over the river that heads off back towards the cobbled den, and you do find Wash sitting like not under the bridge but against the bridge support, and he's just kind of you see him, he's coaxed another bat into his hand and he's speaking to it, and you see him release it and it flies up into the air, but
Okay.
he doesn't notice that you're approaching yet.
We will walk over to him.
I play my piccolo louder.
And I think he
Yeah.
kind of perks up for a moment and he's like, oh,
So I come over and I say, "What is the matter, friend? We are in the tavern celebrating our victory."
well, I got some, like I said, I got some word from, well, not really home, but, where I was before I was here.
Mhm.
And
And where was that?
somebody I thought was maybe dead they've seen her again.
Oh, that is good news.
Yeah.
Where was she spotted?
In the capital city.
Ah, okay.
Which
I-
one is that? Is that Hightower or is that a different one?
Anervir. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I know people in the capital city.
Oh, yeah. I went to school there, so.
Ah, it is a small world.
Well, it's a very large city, so.
Mm, true as well, I believe. I've never been myself, but I do know people who are currently there.
Oh.
Is that who you were trading messages with through your bats?
No. I have a friend who lives under a bridge, and I was sending him messages.
A friend who lives under a bridge.
It's a really nice bridge.
Oh, well, I guess that
It's only
makes it
apropos that you should talk to him from your bridge.
Right. I was thinking about the bridge, and I wanted to come out here and send him another message.
Well, is your bridge friend doing okay?
He's fine. I don't think he's ever in any danger, but I just want to get some more information about what they found, or if they've seen her again since, this last message came through. The spells.
And
Can
you
the
said
bat
you
find
believe-
you any?
Hmm?
Go ahead, Abel.
So do you believe that she was dead before?
Well, she disappeared, and I didn't see her again, and she was really important, and then she was gone. And I thought that the only thing that would keep her from being around me was that she was dead. So yeah, I thought she was.
Hmm. This is interesting.
Sometimes
So-
people can be held against their will.
That's true. I hope that didn't happen to her.
I hope that did not happen to her as well.
Are you planning to go and visit your friend who is
Oh, I don't.
resurfaced?
I don't know. The capital's so far away. It's Did you guys find rooms at the? Was there room at the inn?
Yes, we do have rooms. You can share a room with me.
Oh, okay. That's very nice. That would be great.
Have you ever seen a drunken otter before? I think it would make for an interesting story for you.
A natural 20. So yeah. Well, I don't think I've ever seen a drunken otter before, but I have seen a drunken tabaxi. I would like to see the difference.
Come with us.
All right. And so he follows you as you guys lead him back towards the tavern.
Okay.
Right before you guys go in, though, he's like, um, do you mind if I have the key, Abel, and go, so I can go up maybe a little earlier than if you want to hang out down here? I might need a little time to clear my head.
Yes, that is perfectly fine.
Okay. So
And
you
I
get over.
get keys. Like I said, I
And if
give
you
him the
crack
key.
a window, a return bat can find you.
Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you, Soros.
Also,
We go back in. Is Kamana come down? Has Marlowe gone up? Is Marlowe even aware that
I
that
would have
Kamana
made sure
exists?
Kaimana didn't submerge himself in
Drown.
the water for
Yeah.
longer than he could handle. Yeah.
Did anything happen in the 30 minutes or 40 minutes while they were gone in search for Wash?
Did you come up and try to find Kaimana?
Yeah.
All right. As you get closer to the door to the bathroom, there's like very audible, like wet splashing noises,
Oh.
and you kind of hear Kaimana like singing the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Right. Famous Alyrian song,
Yeah.
The Sorcerer's
Was it
Apprentice.
the do 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 do, and if you open the door, you would see the empty like beer mug balanced atop this like pillar of water that he's like making like rise up out of the bathtub, and it's like dancing back and forth.
Kaimana, you can't flood this place. No. Mm-mm.
Water's fine. Come on,
I
in.
believe you.
Jet of water to the face.
Motherfucker. God. Kaimana, maybe you should go to bed. I don't know. Seems like a good idea. Maybe.
Oh, sleep does sound fun.
Uh-huh. I swaddle him in a towel. And I do my best to kind of just squeeze, like pat dry him as I put him into bed in the towel.
No.
So you go to like the second.
Oh, a wet, soggy towel.
Yeah.
You use your
Kaimana's asleep before you reach the room.
Oh. You use your key, Mar, for the room that you got, and you.
Oh no! I'm putting him in his room.
Well, the source has the key, so.
Oh god! Oh no! I guess I put him in my room.
But
That's
then
fine.
You can trade out keys with swords.
Yeah, I put him in my room. It's no worries.
And then you lay him down, and he just kind of curls up on his little back. Yeah.
Okay. I give him a little pat on the forehead, and then I head back down.
All right.
Does he shift like to different animals while he sleeps?
No, he's not Beast Boy.
Oh, okay. That's actually what I was visualizing.
All right.
It had to be a really vivid dream for him to do that. He's not having those tonight.
Anything else you all are doing this evening before you all head off to bed?
I might want to find a quiet place to do some tinkering.
Your room will probably be the quietest place because the Mount Adranus ale is no joke. Even like you can feel it, Mar, even with your constitution, that it's kind of buzzing a little bit, and you feel it a little bit too, Abel. And the crowd is getting a little more boisterous. I mean, there's only 5 or 6 other people here, but there's volume that's rising. So if you want a quiet place, your room is probably going to be your best bet.
Okay. Is Wash in the room already?
Um, so Wash did come in with you, and he kind of said like hi to everybody, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna head up." And so if you go up to the room, do you go ahead and go up to the room, Abel?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes, I will go up to the room.
when you get up there, Wash is there. He's sitting. There's a small little desk, and he's kind of sitting at the desk, and he's just writing in a notebook of some kind or a diary, but he's being very quiet. So.
Okay. I'll just tell him, do not mind me. I see you want to be alone with your thoughts. I will just spread my things out here on the floor in the corner. And if
And
you talk, I will be here.
pauses for a moment and watches what you're doing, kind of interested. And you kind of notice now that it's like it's almost it looks like it's a composition. It looks like he's writing poetry. You may maybe guess song lyrics or something like that. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I'll let him work while I do my work as well.
All right. And
Oh God, he's writing a Taylor Swift song.
No.
Oh no.
No.
the man under the bridge. What are you doing with your tinkering?
I will reach in my bag of holding and pull out my loaf of bread that I got earlier today.
And you're gonna
Tear off
You're gonna tinker a loaf of bread.
No.
Yeah.
I've been
make a bread
drinking.
gun.
I know,
Bread gun, bread gun.
World artificer bread gun.
The matter of
Bread
life and
rocket.
death.
Bread rocket.
Uh,
If only. So I'm going to, eat some bread, try to soak up some of the alcohol that I consumed, and then I'm going to pull out the broken gauntlet from the attack on my group's airship from my session 0.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out one of the broken gauntlets and see that I confiscated from our attackers, and from my bag of holding, just kind of tinker around with it, see if I can understand the power supply, maybe refashion it or come up with a new power supply or repair that one.
Okay. So first, go ahead and roll an investigation check, and
Oh dear.
just to kind of study the item.
Can I cast? Do I have any spells? Shit. Can I cast Identify on it?
Cast Identify as a ritual without a spell slot. Mhm.
I want to do that then.
Okay. So you take the 10 minutes to do that. There's no existing magical essence to the item, but you get a very, 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 very faint from the stone that is kind of cracked at the center. That when the energy of these gauntlets was expended, the stone cracked. That there's just like the faintest essence of some evocation, like magic that comes off of that.
Will the mending cantrip fix this stone that is cracked?
You can try it.
I will try to cast mending on the cracked stone.
Okay. You cast it, and the stone fuses back together, but whatever it doesn't do anything. Whatever energy that was bound within it is gone. So it's just a stone now. It's really pretty. It's like bluish with kind of almost like silver flecking in it that catches the light and sparkles. You can roll a check to see if you know the stone.
Is
For
it what?
you, it would be a history check.
History or Ay, Dios mío. 2 plus 3. I do not know what the fudge I'm looking at.
You did not pay very much attention in geology, so.
Mhm. Maybe that alcohol got to me a little bit more than I thought. I need a little bit more bread in me.
All right. And then, do you want to kind of just now study the gauntlet itself?
Yeah, I'll just take some time to look over it, see how its components work and all
Are
that.
you taking it apart and putting it back together, or are you just studying it with your eye?
I'll take it apart. Maybe if I can improve upon it a little bit, I'll try to do that.
All right. So go ahead and roll a tinker check. Roll a d20, add your intelligence and your proficiency.
Okay. I'll do that. Okay. 14, 17, 18, 19.
Okay, yeah. And so over the course of the next 2 hours, like you go full like ADD hyper focus on
Tony
this.
Stark.
Yeah, Tony Stark. You
Movie
carefully
montage. Just
take
take-
apart the entire glove, and you get down to the basic component, and it's just a glove with the fingers cut off, made of a very fine leather.
Mhm.
But you've taken apart all the components and you've laid them out very carefully. And then over the course of the next hour, as you're getting into like the midnight time period, you slowly reassemble everything, and you notice and you pick up on like, oh, like this connection was really poorly like soldered together, and you like use mending to bind it instead of whatever failed method they use. And you improve upon like, oh, they were getting kind of diffusion of the power circuitry here because the copper wires were crossing, and they were creating kind of like this issue here, and then the leather over here was actually acting as a resistance to the power kind of traveling through, and you put it back together.
Obviously, yeah.
And you feel like you feel like you have recreated. It looks relatively the same when you're done, but over the course of that kind of 3-hour period, you think put back together in a way that's much more efficient and much more functional. You just don't have a power supply for it.
Okay. I'll just take a look at my handiwork. I'll say this would be a good weapon for sorters to utilize. If I could power it, and I'll put it back in my bag of holding, and then I'll call it a night.
Okay. You had to sleep. And at some point in that 3-hour period, Wash also had gone to sleep as well. And so you guys head off to sleep. Anybody else? Mark?
I'm gonna stay down and just like work on my journaling a bit. And I think I'll probably have a second drink.
Okay. a third.
Source goes up to the bartender and asks if she has whiskey.
Oh, yeah, we do. Do you want some the good stuff or just some plain fire whiskey?
Fire whiskey is fine.
Fire whiskey. So she reaches into a bottle and she kind of corks it.
How much is in the bottle?
The bottle is probably about halfway full.
Thank you.
You take the whole bottle.
Power move.
And I put a gold down.
Okay. And she said, "Well, thank you very much." She goes back to kind of, NPC duties.
Do I see this from where I'm sitting?
You can roll a perception check.
Okay. 12.
I'm a giant rat, so it's not
Yeah.
subtle.
And you're keeping an eye over on the bar anyway, and so you see like
Mhm.
Soris walk away with a bottle of whiskey.
I'll try to do like a sympathetic nod of like, I know my friends are a lot. I know. I'm aware.
She comes out from behind the bar, and do you need another before I walk all the way over there?
And I would have gotten a glass from her.
Okay.
I'm not that much of a drunkard.
You're not that much of an animal.
She hands a glass off to you, Soris. Can I get you another drink before I walk over there?
Oh, no, I'm good.
Okay. So she comes over. She's like, "You have some interesting friends."
Yeah, I'm well aware.
That's not every day that you get that kind in Northwick. We're a relatively quiet community.
Yeah, they're I mean, they're good, though.
Yeah,
I mean, well.
She looks around the bar, and at this point, like the half dwarf elven two have left, and the older man who was drinking 2 tankards at a time is asleep, and the couple are now like, if they could be texting at the table, they would be, but they're definitely sitting further apart from each other, and kind of just like one's looking like at the corner, and the other one's like looking at the floor, but they're just sitting there in silence.
Awkward.
Yeah, well, it's nice to have interesting people around to travel with.
Yeah, I mean, they keep it lively,
Yeah.
to say the least.
What's that you're working on?
Oh, it's my journal. I track the moon cycle a lot.
Oh, well, what was it today?
What was it today?
Well, so it's still wax and gibbous. It's just more,
Right.
it's more than it was before.
Yeah, I show her like that I have like drawings of like the whatever phase that's in, and like a few notations in like Elvish and stuff like that about like time of like its high points and stuff like that.
She looks at it, she said, well, I can't read that part, but are you tracking both or just Rilo?
Mainly just the main one, but both if I feel like it. It's
Selena's
it's a souvenir thing,
Oh, Peter, souvenir. Nice.
Yeah, I know it's not super common right around here, but I guess yeah.
The Riverlands, anywhere you get water, you get souvenir.
Yeah.
And she kind of whispers a little bit, and she's like, I'm the weird one. I'm Adronis.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you from around here?
She kind of she pulls,
What's your sign?
Yeah, she takes one of the stools, like the high back stools there, and she kind of whips it around, and she sits backwards on the stool with and she kind of leans against it, and she's just like, no, as you can see, most of the drink around here comes from the Mount Adronis area. That's where I grew up.
Right.
Yeah, my parents own they own a brewery there, and so I didn't want to work that business, and so I came down here and became a bartender. So,
yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually got your name. Sorry.
She kind of thinks for a moment. She's like, well, I tell most people that it's Scar because it sounds cool. She kind of looks around and she says, it's Daisy.
I mean, that also sounds cool.
Yeah, my mom likes flowers, and they don't grow a lot in Mount Adronis, so she named me one.
It's a nice name.
Oh, thank you. What was yours?
Ma.
Ma.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice to meet you, Mar.
Nice to
You hear the sound
Me
of a
too.
piccolo playing in the corner.
I look.
It's surprising. No, it's
Strange.
he is not paying attention to you. He is just playing. It's surprisingly upbeat for someone who has just grabbed a half bottle of whiskey.
Go ahead and roll a performance check, Soros.
Performance. That is a 14.
Yeah, it's a beautiful little ditty. Whatever emotion you're trying to evoke with the song, it kind of gets across there, Soros.
And I finish the song, and it tails off. And then start playing a different song.
Your friends are pretty talented.
Yeah, they have a lot of different skill sets.
Yeah. What do you bring to the table? What's your skill set?
Oh, I like pull back my coat and like flex my like rapier.
Oh, skilled with a sword.
Yeah,
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
She kind of leans forward across the thing, and she kind of points at one of the tattoos on her arm, and you immediately recognize it. It's the symbol of the Radiant Legion. She said, I did some of my time in the military as well.
Nice.
Are you with a particular group, or are you just kind of a lone sword?
Oh, I'm with the one of the orders in the forest.
Just kind of just pause for a moment. That's interesting. One of my former, I was only in the military for a short time. Just kind of did my 2 years and out. But one of my former friends, she she did some training there with the Radiant Legion in the Deepwood, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? What was the name?
Alana. I think she's a field marshal now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I ran into her on the road,
Oh,
actually,
yeah,
weirdly enough.
She left here just a couple days ago, heading back up north.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So you must have crossed paths.
Yeah, you know, recognized similar goals, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, and she kind of looks around and she's just like,
Another song finishes, another shot, another song starts.
Can I do an insight check on her to see how much she knows about the order?
yeah. You got that pause for a moment. Yeah. See.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Nat 20.
Oh, shit. So the moment you said order, because you know that there's 3 main orders and
Mm-hmm.
two of them are much less, are more respected and less kind of shadowy.
Uh-huh.
But at the order, she was kind of like, that's really interesting. And then when you said in the forest, there's kind of like this, like she pulled back just a little from that. You get the sense that she's maybe heard some rumors or something about what that order does or what that order is.
Okay. But wouldn't know, like, full extent of, like...
No, but you also know that the order is very careful about
Cool.
keeping a lot of that under wraps. So.
Okay, makes sense, makes sense.
A lot of what?
I don't know. I don't know.
whisper.
Abel, maybe you should
Why
ask
did I go
one day.
upstairs?
Maybe an
can't
NPC
whisper.
shouldn't be getting my backstory out of me.
Somebody's got to get it.
She's
Fair
pulled
point.
this journal out in front of Abel.
Something happened and I got like distracted or something. I don't remember what it was.
I think I was also mean to you when you asked.
Maybe my pride was wounded. Hope we were friends. So no.
Well, it's a pretty interesting life. You're kind of far away from the woods at the moment.
Yeah, it's you know, solo mission kind of deal. Last round of you know, training.
Yeah, and then you ended up with this group.
Yeah, found them by accident. Happy accident, maybe.
I find
One of
that
these days you'll convince yourself.
she kind of thinks for a moment. She's like, I find that we never know whether the accidents were happy or not until after the fact.
I guess so.
Yeah. Well, can I get you another drink?
No, I'm good. I should probably go out for the night.
How about a tall glass of water?
Because you're thirsty.
You're thirsty. She goes, well, I'm here until these lugs wake back up and head out. So it's nice meeting
If you I mean, I have my own room. I don't know if you like when you get off. I mean, I'll keep it unlocked. I leave.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
She kind of smiles at your stammering, and then she does watch you walk away. And then she picks up the tankards that are on your table, and she cleans up the area and is wiping things down. All right. So Abel's asleep. Mar heads off. Kaimana's probably snoring. Soris, anything you're accomplishing before the end of the night?
Getting drunk.
All right.
I
It
want to
doesn't
drink
take
alone.
long. The fire whiskey's pretty strong, so maybe 3 or 4 shots in, you start to really feel it, and then it doesn't take more than a couple more after that before you are.
I'm not getting sick stagger drunk, but an Ernest Hemingway drunk.
Okay, like a practiced drunk. Okay,
Respectable,
yeah.
respectable.
so it doesn't.
You get drunk and then you keep it versus, and I'll do that for 2 or 3 hours until the last person gets to leave, and then I'll show myself upstairs.
Yeah. Eventually, the couple do leave. not kind of one walking a little bit in front of the other. The two guys who've been playing chess kind of walk out like arm in arm, and then the drunk like dwarf guy, he's just asleep there, and then you probably assume that he's just gonna be asleep there for the night. And at some point, you do see the bartender walk around, and she kind of cleans things up, and she looks at who's left in the area, and she makes her way upstairs.
And I will eventually go upstairs and go to sleep.
All right. And so, before we fade to black, Mar, you do hear a knock, knock, knock on the door.
Cool.
All right. So you all have a relatively good night's sleep. Saurus, even though you went to sleep drunk, there are some still unsettling dreams.
Damn.
A little less, probably, a little less strong than you probably thought or hoped that they would be. But you do get a few flashes and visions, and it's just a lot of mostly sounds and smells and colors, but you know what they represent as it's they're kind of passing through. But you all awake, and Abel, as you rise, you look over, and the other bed is empty. And there's just a folded note on the sheet.
Okay, I will wipe the crusts from my eyes. I check my breath.
It's terrible.
Realism.
And I will walk over and get the note off the bed.
Okay. So you open it up, and it's written in Draconic.
Shit. This is no good to me.
Yeah, but it is signed Wash. But he wrote it in Draconic.
And do I know who else speaks Draconic?
I think he was the only one that spoke Draconic.
No, Saurus doesn't speak Draconic.
Nope.
No, we all had to get Wash to
I
translate.
I speak beast tongue and common, but that's it.
Oh, maybe that's what I was. Okay, well. Okay, I'll put it.
If he wrote it in rat, I could read it.
But there's the note.
He wrote it right.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
I have a better chance at asking the tree that the paper is made out of what the content of the letter says.
This is horrible. I think I chose like crap. What languages did I choose? Common, Elvish, and Gnomish.
Elvish is not bad.
Those are practical. I mean,
Yeah.
relatively.
I tried to be practical. Yeah. Okay, I'll just put the note in my bag of holding, gather my things, and I'll head downstairs.
Yeah.
Is anyone else?
Yeah, and as you're leaving, you notice that there's all of Wash's things are gone. His bag is gone. Like everything else is gone.
That's alarming.
Yeah. When
Okay.
you get downstairs, there is the person behind the bar is kind of an older. She's an older female half elf, and she's kind of there, and she's just kind of washing some glasses and kind of getting it up. You are the only person awake quite as early.
Okay, so I will go to the. She's the only person in the bar. The old
Yeah.
lady. I will go to her. Say, "Good morning, ma'am. How are you?"
Oh, I'm very nice. Did you sleep well?
I slept very well. The accommodations were very nice.
That's good. Perhaps you could spread the word about the Blue Rose. It's a beautiful place.
We will. Yes, the Blue Rose and the Northwick buns. Yes,
You guys really have the option of starting like Illyrian Yelp. So,
exactly.
Mm.
And I have
your
to say,
side.
Josh, because of the theater background, every time you say blue roses, I think pleurosis.
No.
It's the reverse. It's the reverse glass menagerie.
yes.
No.
Well, now I'm
Those
just
of
waiting.
you who are in the viewer land who are also theater nerds will get the reference. Those of you who don't, look up Tennessee
Look it up,
Williams.
yeah.
Read the play. It's very good.
It's so good.
Well, now I'm imagining just like the group walking by, and it's like, oh yeah, go to Northwick. They've got great buns at several establishments.
Right,
Uh,
Norm? Okay. Okay, I will.
Y'all aren't gonna get it out of me.
Yeah, Scar already did.
Except for Daisy.
all right,
Oh,
lads, settle down.
Source is the only one that saw it, so we need him to tell us so we can like. Vote.
Soros
Okay.
was dealing with his own demons.
Oh yeah.
Thor's was battling his own demons in the corner.
Okay, I want to ask the older woman if do you perhaps speak Draconic or read Draconic?
No, I don't. But there's, I mean, probably your best bet would be in Broadfield. The library is not far from there, and the acumen probably have somebody who can speak Draconic.
The library in Broadfield. Thank you very much. I'll
Of
run
course,
back
yes.
upstairs,
Okay.
and I'm a bit alarmed. Oh, wait! Before I go, I'll ask her. Did you see our friend, a tall dragonborn gentleman, leave early this morning, or?
Oh, yes. He came down right after the sun rose, and
Did he say anything before he left?
he just said, well, what did he say? It was so early. He just said that he had to go and to let his friends know. I guess you're his friend. He had to go.
Oh, thank you very much. You were very helpful. And I'll reach into my bag and like find one copper piece and give it to her.
Oh, thank you. And you all were guests from the mayor. Am I preparing the breakfast for you this morning?
We shall see. I'm a
Okay.
bit concerned that my friend left
About
without.
that time, Soros comes down.
Okay.
Breakfast would be an excellent idea.
Okay.
I rolled a nat 20 on my Constitution check for hangover, so he is fine.
And so
Forrest is here. I want to let him know Wash is not in his room and his belongings are gone. All I found was a note written in Draconic. I don't know. I don't believe any of us can read it.
I cannot.
Okay. I will go upstairs and let the others know. I don't know if we need to go looking for him or if he is okay.
all right.
Did he say anything before he left?
He said nothing. He left before I woke this morning.
How unusual.
Very. Okay, I'll go upstairs and knock on the door.
On
Mars.
Yeah. All right.
Mar, you are awoken to the sound of a knock, and your bed is also empty.
Oh.
But there is just kind of right next to the bed, there is a small yellow flower.
That's.
A daisy?
I will take it and very quickly press it in my journal.
Okay. All right.
And then I will open the door.
All right.
What?
And there's a very
I see Mara with a half a sheet around her.
It's
No,
like,
What
absolutely.
do you
not.
want?
I'll let her know that the watch has gone missing. He wrote a note, but no one can read it.
Draconic? I thought he knew. We asked him all the time to translate that. Why would he do that?
We don't have a logical bunch of friends, eh? Just did he say anything before he left, perhaps?
No, I mean, I guess you were probably the last to see him, huh?
Okay. I guess we should all gather downstairs and see if we need to go looking for him.
Okay. One sec. I go bang on Kaimana's door.
Come on.
Kaimana!
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. Just a straight roll?
Yeah.
Okay. 10.
Okay, so you wake up and
Horrible
you,
hangover.
you
Horrible.
have definitely a headache. You are definitely experiencing some hangover stuff. You manage to avoid any projectile vomiting or anything like that, but you are feeling the results of your night with the Mount Adronis ale. And then you hear
It's
this
the
loud,
day after the night before.
the loud banging on the door.
Go away.
Kaimana, get up. Wash is missing.
No. What?
Oh,
Get up.
I'm gonna come downstairs and I'm gonna say, I never climb Mount Andronis again.
A wise man climbs Mount Adranus once. A fool climbs him more than once.
That's what she said.
A hero climbs 3 times.
What happened? Where Wash?
Are we all downstairs or no?
Yeah, you guys have all gathered now.
Okay, so I do not know. He left our room early this morning, according to the barkeep. He said nothing before he left.
Did anyone see him go?
I did not see him leave. The barkeep saw him leave, and she said that he said to let us know that he was leaving.
He'd not leave a note?
He left a note, but I cannot read it.
What? Let me see.
Here you are.
I'm gonna look at it. I cannot read this.
Hey, wait, let me see. I just make sure that I can't read Draconic real quick.
Well, that's what would happen.
Source doesn't even try.
You could say that something was in French, and everybody at the table, even if no one spoke French, they would all look at it.
100% what would happen if people would just like pick out the words.
Well, let me see.
Oh, that looks like, yep, that looks like toilette. I don't know.
All we know is
Don't have
bibliotex
comprehend
library.
language.
Do you have comprehend language?
No,
I don't think I do.
Oh,
I could. I think I could swap it out, but I would need to prepare my spells for the day.
Yeah, let me see.
And with a hangover, you're not exactly preparing anything.
That's not the best idea right now. Yeah, I think I could get comprehend languages, but you need to.
Saurus
give me
is
some time.
eating in front of you, by the way.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and the little old lady has brought out like 5 or 6 plates, and there's typical breakfast fare. There's a nice bowl of fruit. It looks
Oh,
relatively
what a
fresh.
pineapple.
Mhm. Yeah,
Just remind me of
a lot of
pineapple.
meat, a lot of eggs.
Yeah, I don't think this is a spell I know. It is okay. I'll just take some food and like wrap it up in a napkin or like a handkerchief or something, and I'll put it in my bag of holding.
Is there bacon?
Yeah.
When
I'm-
everyone is finished
More-
and we're clearing it at the end of the day, in the morning, I'm going to take the rest of my bacon and put it in my pocket so that I can have pocket meat.
Yay!
Pocket bacon.
It's not like it's more like Canadian bacon, so it's slightly thicker cut. You know that
Ooh.
style.
Abel is gonna have more than his fair share of bacon wrapped up in his little handkerchief. Abel likes meat, so
Yeah, he does.
It's a wild episode, gang.
what's going on today?
Where did
Real-
your
real
mind
time.
go?
What's happening?
I don't know.
I really did think the drunk otter was going to be the
The highlight.
moment.
Right.
But
And
Was
it
the
wasn't
comment,
bad.
no.
It was not bad.
We're actors. We like to top each other. You
Yep.
know?
I went first. That was always a
No,
mistake.
stop it! Stop! I didn't mean it like that. And you know I didn't. You stop that. Awful.
I have a feeling that this section is going to be edited out of the broadcast. Or not.
It will not.
Good.
It will not.
Twitch, please spare us.
All right. So, and looking at kind of where we are right now, we'll go ahead and arising this morning with uncertain of what's going on with Wash and maybe Kaimana perhaps being able to solve the thing. We'll go ahead and take a quick 10-minute break.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ted.
Dan.
Thank you, Ted.
Thank you.
Again.
Bye, 10.
Going up.
All right, so welcome back. As we left the ticket takers, they were awakening today in Northwick after gathering their party and getting some pocket bacon. And now you guys are here in the tavern, and the day is yours as you have this bounty to turn in and collect your information, and then head off from there. So do you all
Right then.
do you all have anything else you want to accomplish in the tavern?
No, I believe we should just pick up the rate of accommodation.
All
Yeah.
All right, so you guys all kind of gather your stuff, clean up whatever food remains you want, and then you head outside and kind of retrace your steps back towards the town hall area. And there you see there's a cart in front of the town hall that wasn't there the night before. And loaded up in this cart is all of the trinkets and supplies that were taken by the kobolds and have been returned. And Thomas Malley's sitting there next to the cart and looks like he's kind of taking inventory of random things. And then there's random townspeople who are coming by and saying, that's my serving dish or whatever. And like,
Like you do.
yeah, like
Water
that's
can.
my
When it's a
work.
wedding gift,
Yeah.
you don't pay attention.
No, yeah,
That's my salad shooter.
that's my paring knife. So he's kind of handing out supplies and kind of noting like which townspeople are getting what, and then he sees you all coming and he's like, "Hey, good to see y'all. We reclaimed all the things. We found them exactly where you said they'd be." And then this old lady walks up and she's like, "I would need the silver spoons," and he kind of digs in and like hands over some of the spoons with her initials on them or
I
whatever.
put my
and-
hand
yeah.
on Kiana. On Kimana.
Keanu now.
Yeah. Point Break, you are a surfer, so there.
Oh.
All right. And then once the old lady kind of goes by, Thomas walks up to you all and he says, "Well, it looks like you were honest with your word and you've accomplished what you need to do. So let me." And then he takes out a satchel or a little sack and he hands it over to Abel, who's standing there, and is like, "Well, that's the 30 gold that was for the initial, as well as the bonus 25 gold for the return of the trinkets." And then he pulls from a little sack next to him a rolled up parchment with a seal, and he hands that over and he says, "And your writ of commendation."
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
Yes, thank you.
Give him a hello, bro.
Yes, we will remember the ticket taker's service to this town, and you are, of course, always welcome back in Northwick.
Okay. Should we
South of Broadfield.
Just Northwick, south of Broadfield. Yeah, we should put that on a sign somewhere.
It's a very good idea. Should we head back on foot, or should we see if maybe they have a cart to spare? Perhaps make our journey a little bit easier. A cart and a horse.
How far away
not
is
far
Broadfield?
off, right?
It's not. Yeah, you got it. Was a.
Okay.
It was like a 6-hour trip from Broadfield to Inniswood, and this is like in the halfway point, so it's like 3 hours, give or take, on foot.
It's a lovely morning for a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll head back on foot then.
All right.
Is there anything else we need to accomplish while we're in town, team?
More buns.
Yes. One less sweet bun.
All right. So
More
after,
bun for the road.
after a little bit of a walk, you find yourself outside of the general store / bakery, and you open the door, and the fresh smell of cooking comes out, and you see the proprietor and she's covered in flour, and it's all over her face and on her dress, and she's just like, "Oh my goodness, you guys are just becoming my best customers, I guess. Come on in. What can I do for you this morning?" Oh no.
Northfield buns, please.
Oh, some
Yes.
more Northfield buns. Okay, so she kind of gathers them all, and she says, "And I heard that you all returned everything. So my husband did get his ring back, so thank you all for that as well." Did we all freeze up again?
I
You did.
think the internet connection goes with your dog.
Sully is
Yeah.
Sully is the
We-
Wi-Fi. That's
We have a
great.
theory.
It's the tail.
Yeah, exactly. That's the theory.
It might be.
Yeah, it was great, Josh. You went and she says, and well,
It was really good.
All right. So she says, "Oh, thank you so much. Yes." And she starts putting some buns in a bag, and then she says, "And I heard that you returned all the materials. My husband did get his ring back, so thank you so much for that. Yes."
Hey, can we pause for a second? I'm so sorry. There's a bug. I gotta go.
What's with buns? You
It's
and
every
buns.
time. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. And so she hands over the buns, and she says, "That'll be on the house for your service. Thank you so much."
Ah, it's very generous of you. Thank
Oh,
you very
yes,
much, man.
But still spread the word about Northwick buns. All
Yes, Northwood stick
Yes.
buns.
Yes.
right. Anything else you need from here?
I do not believe we need
Let me check my inventory.
Okay.
Actually.
any.
Does she have anything, any like lead figurines or lead spoons or pewter?
So she,
Could you melt them
you
down?
ask her. She kind of looks and she's like, "Well, we do carry some. There's some lead bars over there that some of the craftsmen are use to melt down or things. Just small little ingots of lead. Back kind of in the back corner there, you might be able to find some.
So I go looking.
All right, and you, based on where she points, there's just kind of a stack of 5 or 6 small bars, maybe a quarter of a pound each. But you don't know the quality of it. But...
I should only need a half pound.
Okay, so you take 2, and so she's like, "Well, those together will be 8 silver."
Okay.
Probably cheaper somewhere else, but we have to get them shipped in from other places. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Anything Atwood or Kamana that you're looking for?
I'm trying to think if there would be anything he'd be interested in, but
Anything
Really?
super shiny?
Anything shit.
I mean that's all in the cart.
Yeah, there's
Outside,
a lot of
like-
gold and silver and things on the cart. So
Just
I
wants
would
to
say we have
change
plenty-
into an elk and take the cart with him.
We have plenty of gold if you want to buy yourself any trinkets. So
Nah, I'm good for now.
Okay.
I'm good.
all right. And again, thank you so much. And anytime you come back through, please stop by. I'm always playing around with the recipes.
Oh yeah, we will.
And then, so you all head out. And then, are you gonna start making your way out of town, or are you kind of just?
yes, I believe it is time to go. We need to find someone to read this note that Wash Beard left behind.
That's right. Although I think, were you looking, Kamana, to see if you had comprehend languages? Is that one of your things, or?
I was looking. I do not.
Okay, so yeah, so you guys will need to get back to town.
Yeah.
All right, so for the purposes of just kind of travel, this is an incredibly safe part of Alyria, and this is a really well-traveled road, so you don't suspect that you'll be coming across any dangers or troubles. However, if
Okay.
there's anything that you guys want to discuss or talk about on your journey, this is an opportunity for you to have that, or we can just kind of zoom and get back to Broadfield. It's up to you.
Okay, I guess while we are on our journeys, I want to make sure this is right. I already had 97 gold in my bank. And then I think I had like another 65 gold from that we had found on the kobolds,
Uh-huh.
7 silver and 87 copper. And then another 55 gold that we just got, right?
Okay.
So we have plenty of money to meet the
We owe 70 gold for the Adventurers Guild fee.
yeah, we have plenty of money to meet the adventuring guild fee.
And we owe 5% to the guild from what we get on top of that.
Yeah, that was the
Oh,
agreement that you
Jesus.
guys made with.
Who made this? Who made this agreement?
In a moment where Roland thought he was offering you 5%, you somehow turned it around to giving him 5%. So.
We're basically when we came back with the 50 gold and the what percentage, and he went 5%, and we gave him or 10% or whatever it was, and we gave him 5 gold, and he looked at it and went, "Okay, we still need 70."
Yep.
So
Yeah.
10%, I guess, is what we owe the guild,
And
off of our reward.
yeah.
Now, we just did not discuss anything that may have found its way into our pockets in the
Right.
adventure. So,
Right.
so the 25 from Inniswood, and then the however much 55 from here. So that's 80. So we'll owe basically the 70 gold for the fee plus 8 gold to Roland, and then the rest is ours.
Yeah, and the way you guys,
Okay.
the way we can kind of run that going forward is anytime you do a thing and get a reward, I'll just cut out the 5% and assume that exchange happens, kind of moving forward, so you don't have to worry about doing the math on that.
Okay. So I don't know where. Did we find 65 gold in the coppers? Or did we
Yes.
get that from?
Yeah,
It came
we
from the
found
kobold.
that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that
It came
was
from the kobold.
you guys were waiting to see if anybody would claim it, but Thomas didn't bring it up, so it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like anybody's
So the
looking
65
for
gold,
it. So, yeah.
37 silver, 87 copper. Of all the gold all the gold that we made on this one trip would be like 120 minus 70, so that leaves us like 50 gold.
That you could split up.
And
Yeah.
then we know another 8 to Roland.
Yeah.
So whatever's left from there.
42 gold you can
Okay.
split, so you each get about 10 gold out of that if you want to split it up. All right. Anything else you want to accomplish or talk about on your journey? There goes Sully, so the internet's probably about to pop out again.
It's really good that you can see the exact shot. Like now she appears in both frames. She's like in Josh's, coming into Ronnie's.
Yep.
I love
Really?
that. Yeah.
She's magic.
She's not even. She just stands. Like she's just standing here looking. Like what is
Portal dog.
Yeah.
so important?
Blink dog.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we'll do that. We'll split up the gold while we walk down the safe road that's well traveled.
Yep. And it's a clear, beautiful
And the
day.
timber-
There is kind of a hint kind of off on the distance of some cloud formation, but it doesn't look like it's going to be anything that's going to produce rain or anything. It's a really beautiful day here in Alyria, as you guys are making your way back to Broadfield. And then as you kind of arrive back, you make your way through the typical streets, and you are a well-recognized enough group that some random townspeople just kind of point at you as you're coming by. Like, they're starting to recognize you as this Adventurers Guild group, and some give you nods and little kids wave. And there's one little particular girl who sees Abel and kind of immediately hides behind her mother. And you recognize her as the girl who got the egg in the face from the in the opening. But then you make your way back, and just as you're getting into the main mall area where the tavern is, and the town hall and everything, you'd see that figure in the robe that you've seen several times come out of the Adventurers Guild, and he kind of walks your direction a little bit, but then he cuts through an alley off to the side, and you kind of do notice him watching you a little bit as he's making that trip.
This is the person that the mayor was speaking with before.
Yeah, it's the one that you saw the mayor kind of run away from before, and then you've also encountered him coming out of the tavern once before as well.
I say to the group, should we be concerned about this one watching us? I've seen him
I'm
before.
not.
I mean, I think the mayor is extremely sus. I think we're all, on the same page about that. So makes sense he would hang out with equally shady people.
I'm keeping my eye on him.
Okay.
This is the one-eyed rat.
Yeah, and he gets to the alleyway, and he pauses for a moment and kind of looks over his shoulder in your direction, and then immediately like peers in it and sees Saurus looking in his direction and just kind of stares for a moment, and then turns and goes. And Saurus, go ahead and roll a perception check as you're watching him.
That's going to be a 22.
Oh wow! So with that incredible perception, Saurus, there's a moment when he turns. He's hooded, and so the shadow from the sunlight and everything it's hard to tell any facial features too much, but his hand kind of pulls out of his cloak for a moment, and you could almost swear that you see, very similar to the kobold sorcerer that you fought, this kind of cloud of shadow that wraps around his hand, and then as it disappears back into the robe, it kind of vanishes away a little bit more.
Oh, that's not sketchy at all.
and then he goes into the alleyway, and the alleyway is a little bit ahead of where you guys are walking. As you get to parallel with the alley and you look down the alleyway, he's gone. There's no like exit for a while down the alley. You don't think that he could have been walking so fast that he would have made it to the end of the alley by that time, but it's almost like in that 7 steps or 8 steps for you to get that view, he vanished.
And we all see this.
Saurus definitely sees it.
No.
I have not been paying attention.
Yeah.
To.
No. Saurus pointed out to us.
I don't know. Hi, Sally.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys kind of get to the tavern entrance, and then you enter in, and it looks pretty much the same, except for the very first time there are other people here other than you. For in one corner, kind of back by himself in a booth, you see the large Goliath form of Tavik, the head of the slaughterers. And he's kind of sitting there with a large tankard of ale. And then in a central table area, just splayed out, head on the table, like 2 or 3 cups nearby, you see Roland just kind of laying down on one of the tabletops.
Okay.
I'll go over to Roland and I'll knock on the like table like next to where he's like passed out.
All right, so
Slam your hand down on the table.
No, I just like knock like it's a door.
and he just goes, "I've already talked enough today. I don't want to talk to you too. Go away." And then
All
one.
right,
We have
well, I
money.
guess us, the Adventurers Guild, will just fuck off, I guess.
Oh, and then he pops up and he goes, "Oh, I thought you were somebody else." So
Sure.
welcome back. And he grabs a mug and takes a couple of sips from it. He says, "I suppose this means that your trip was a success. I haven't heard word from Northwick or from Inniswood. How did things go?"
We were very successful.
Yes.
We have the fee to join the Adventurers Guild.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. That's great news. So you have this,
And we have the writ of commendation.
I was about to ask.
Yes,
So you have the 70 gold and the writs of commendation. That's great to hear. That's great to hear. Well, I think that celebration is in order. I did receive word that the guild master has said that his official date for coming to set things up will be 3 days after the day of Ascension, which is on the day of the full moon, so it's a couple days, I suppose. And after that, he'll be here to officially make the Adventurers Guild a guild.
19 to notice Mars' facial expression.
All right, insight 19.
Can I roll deception?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright.
There is something this.
Oh boy, hey, how's a 3 gonna do me?
Saurus,
Gonna do you dirty.
you get the sense that something, like the moment the full moon is mentioned, Mar immediately like attempts to hide the fact that she's paying attention to that, and you can tell she's very much paying attention to that.
Which makes sense because her journal had all the moon
Yep.
phase drawings in it.
Yeah, she
Yes.
loves
So
the
of
moon.
course she's interested.
Yep. All right. And it's at about this moment, Mar, while you're trying to hide the fact that you, whatever passes through your brain at that moment, you look down, and the 3 mugs that are in front of Roland are filled with milk. Like, he's not like drowning his
Oh.
sorrows in alcohol, but he's definitely like sorrowful. He doesn't hide
Well,
things
now
very well.
I've been mad at this guy before, and now I just feel pity for him.
Oh, poor
immediately.
Roland.
I'm just sad.
Yeah.
He's a very greedy man.
Yeah. All right.
Uh,
Go ahead.
what is this full moon celebration?
Oh, the day of Ascension. So this is the month of Metasansi. The one who likes to celebrate knowledge and things. And the holiday for Metasansi is the day of Ascension, and it happens on the first full moon of the month. If there's more than one full moon, I guess. I don't know, but the first full moon of the month, and it is a celebration filled with meditation and bardic tricks and jokes and performances and things, all things that Metasansi finds interesting, none of which I do.
Yes. My mother is a follower of Medisansi back in the day.
Oh, then she's probably getting ready to
right.
celebrate. Yes.
Out of Medisansi was the one, right? We hit
Yep, Metasansi. Yeah. Mhm.
Yes. This would be a lot of fun to sit in on the celebration.
Oh, I don't know. Broadfield probably not too big on the celebration of the Day of Ascension. It requires bards and theater performances and things, and we don't really have an active theater community here yet.
Thank God.
But
This is horrible.
there is
This is
a.
the worst thing I could ever imagine. Oh no.
But the
Speaking of bards,
oh, go ahead. Yes.
does anybody in town speak Draconic?
Oh, well, I was just about to mention the acumen. The monastery is outside of town, and they would be celebrating the Day of Ascension. But the acumen would definitely have somebody who could speak Draconic. That's who I reached out for to get somebody who could speak Nolish for you. So,
The acumen. And where are they located?
well, the main hub is in Annovir, but the monastery of the Third Eye was built many years before Broadfield really became a community, but it's about like half a mile outside of town on the river.
Excellent.
Perhaps we'll make our way there.
How did the interrogation of the Knoll go?
Oh, well, I thought you wanted to do it. So I just reached out to the acumen, and the lawmaster reached out, and they said that they would be sending somebody. So
Quite right.
yeah, they may be on their way, or you might want to go to the monastery and fetch them, or you could just wait until they show up. It's up to you.
Very well.
We shall make the decision later.
Is there anything else we need to do at the guild house?
Well, I did reach out to the 3 families you asked me to communicate with, because you said you wanted to meet with the families of those who had passed on. And I was able to get 2 of them, and they are also willing to meet you as well. But other than that, there are no current contracts other than some of the older ones that have been sitting for a while. But
Speaking of contracts, I noticed one of the slaughterers has returned.
oh, Tovik, yes. Well, apparently the slaughterers don't exist anymore. It's just Tovik now. But you can. I mean, you are more than welcome to talk to him. I would love for him to leave the tavern. He's been here for like 12 hours.
Has he spent money?
Well, yes, I've made him pay. I mean, just kind of making up the
Then-
prices as I go, but yeah.
Then you're fine.
Yes, well, he's very.
He
He
is
no
your-
longer pays.
He was very loudly crying and moaning earlier, and he's much quieter now, but I imagine the moaning will return.
Oh.
All right, so
Did he say anything about the other slaughterers and what
well,
happened to them?
I didn't even ask him, but you're more than welcome to ask him. I'm uninterested. They did not win. They are not representatives of the Adventurers Guild. They are just now paying
Aye.
customer.
That is very cool.
Yes, well, I have my own problems to deal with. And I
Such
don't...
as
Oh, well, no, nothing
Have to
you.
do with
we
the
are
cloaked figure that
adventurers.
is
We are
floating
here to
around
make
town.
things better.
What?
Yeah,
Then
open
you
up
be
to
the head
us.
of our guild. We should have you in your best form,
We
particularly
can
when
be your
they.
therapist.
Oh my god. All of you roll persuasion check. No, Rob, roll a persuasion check with advantage because you were getting helped by everybody else.
Persuasion 16.
Okay. He thinks for a moment and he's like, well, I heard Abel there say that he saw a man leave.
Yes, the cloaked figure.
If you all can get Tovik to leave where we could talk in private, then I will give you some more information. Yes.
I go up to Tarvik.
So Tovik looks up at you and he's like, I recognize you. What do
Yes.
you want?
Where's the rest of your group?
Well,
Abel will come and behind Sordis' shoulder.
apologies
Don't
that the
worry.
internet is the
Okay.
worst. Yeah. Okay. So
So you were saying the kitten is.
oh,
and then
sorry.
he
Okay.
froze.
So he like looks up. And he's like, "Well, the kitten was not a kitten. That was false
What was it?
advertising." Well, right before it killed one of my men, he screamed out, "Guys, it's a display!" And then he got killed. I think he meant to say displacer. It was really big and scary, and it killed somebody. And then the rest of the group said, "We're done," and they left.
Would Abel know what a displacer is?
Yeah, you can roll a history check.
Getting so close to the veil.
Or would that be nature?
Well, I think for him, you can do nature or history, but you might have learned about it in school. In your training.
This is my history. Oh, they're all +4, so. 13?
Yeah, I mean, you've heard displacer. There's a creature that's often called a displacer beast, which looks like a very large panther, but it has a couple kind of tendrils or tentacles. So whoever drew the picture on the original contract that gave it multiple tails was probably not taking into account that they weren't tails, but yeah.
Who has the original contract?
That one, I think Roland is still holding on to that one.
May I see it?
It's behind the bar. It's on the shelf behind the bar. You hear Roland kind of say from his table. So if you want to go over and grab it, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look at it.
Okay, so you
Is
pop
this
behind the
something-
bar, and there's a shelf there that has like 2 or 3 contracts of the ones that were left over that you guys didn't do. And you're looking at it, and it is a drawing of a black cat with 2 tails or 3 tails. But it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't look like threatening at all. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Oh,
if
no.
I remember correctly, it said lost cat.
Lost kitten. Yeah.
It said lost kitten.
Yeah.
I'm curious who calls a
Who lost the
displacer
kitten?
beast a lost kitten.
Wouldn't.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're reading the contract.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me pull up her name because we're going back a few. On the bottom of the contract, says. Let's see.
The old hag of the woods.
No.
Oh, we should
The
have seen
Wicked
it
Witch of the
coming.
West.
Lost kitten. Oh, what was her? I didn't write it here. Let's see. Where did I put it? Her name, Atwood. I'll look it up for in a second, and I will continue to look it up, and I'll get right back to you with it because I think I know where I wrote it down at. All right, so I was do that, and then so Tavik is kind of just staring you down. Saurus.
Would you like a simpler job?
Yeah, he says so. So he kind of says, "Well, this is sitting here drinking is a pretty easy job, but what did you have in mind?"
What was the name of the first town we went to that was the miners?
Let's see. That
Name of the
was.
fist?
Let me pull it up here. Not Northwick. That was the town of Ipswich.
That's right. I should have remembered that.
Yeah.
I want you to go to Ipswich, pick up a pound of black powder or blasting powder from the miners. Come back by the Temple of the Third Eye. Find someone that speaks Draconic, and bring them back here.
Well, like by tomorrow, like Ipswich it's a little bit of a hike.
You can take 2 days.
Oh, okay. I guess. How much you paying?
I give him a gold now,
Okay.
and more when you return.
You want me to pay for the blasting powder out of my own pocket?
Josh, do I know how much blasting powder is roughly?
You probably wouldn't have a very clear idea. You could roll a history check just in case it's something you've come across.
History. 18.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so you like in the Rift, you've definitely seen people like working with it because they're still kind of carving areas of that land out so that more houses can go in. You get the sense that you've never heard a direct price, but you get the sense that they don't waste it and that they're very careful with it. So you think that it's probably worth more. It's probably more expensive than some other building materials or things. You get
I
this.
put 5 gold in his hand.
Yeah, you thinking about it, you're like maybe this probably makes sense. And with the amount that you're asking for, it's not too much, so you might be okay.
Which is why I'm hoping they could be able to spare it.
Yeah. So he kind of looks at it and he's like, all right, I guess. I'll try it. I'll head out later on and do that. But congratulations on your victory, ticket takers. You took my tickets. All right. So Tavok's there. So Kaimana, as you're looking at that form, the person who took out the thing, her name is Lady Haverly.
Lady Haverly.
Mm-hmm.
What
And
do you know about Lady Haverly? Roland.
Oh, she's a local bigwig. She's a member of the patricians.
A member of the
Yeah, and anybody who's from Alyria knows that the patricians are kind of like Alyria doesn't necessarily have nobility, but they are the oldest, richest, noblest families in the realm. And after the subversion, they kind of formed their own council. And there's 10 major families in the patricians, and they kind of represent different regions. And the Haverleys are the patricians in the Riverlands district. So probably the wealthiest family in this area.
So the Medicis.
Kind of.
I was going to say Bushwood Country Club, but okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's definitely like somewhere between like patricians would be like the old money the old money like nobility landowners. Like a lot of the people in this area probably owe them rent. So they're yeah.
JP Morgan, those kind of guys.
And so
get a real job.
So you've got that the person who calls a displacer beast a kitten is a noble lady named Lady Haverly.
Rich.
So she can afford to pay.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, she would have the money to have a. If she has the money to keep a beast like that, she probably has a lot of money. And you looking at the contract there before you, you see that the it was a 50 gold. It was a 50 gold prize for returning her kitten to her, as well as a writ of commendation because she is a noble lady. She can write those. And
Atwood's frozen now.
oh no, not what's frozen. This is literally the greatest
What is
day
going on,
ever.
I say good luck editing this.
Hey, but I did just absolutely destroy a cockroach. So I want everyone to be proud
Get
of
it,
me.
girl.
Get
All
it?
of its legs came off with how brutally I murdered that thing. So,
Welcome back, Atwood. How much of that did you miss?
Oh, I got that. It was 50 gold to do the.
And she also was offering a writ of commendation. She, as a member of the nobility, she could write writs. So
I never seen a displacer beast. You guys, kind of wants to go look at it.
They are very dangerous. I know that much.
How long
So are we.
till
It's true.
how long till the person is supposed to show up in the Kobold area we just left from the new religion? I wrote this down.
and
Aramon.
yeah, that's
We have like a month. Don't
that's
we?
still you guys are like the kind of towards the middle of the month, and they were coming back on the first or the second day of the next month.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we got.
So we have
yeah, we got plenty of time.
we
Yeah.
have time to go do this. We have time to talk to the Third Eye Temple.
Yep.
And find out what Wash Bjord's message said.
Yeah. As you guys are kind of hanging out here, eventually, like Talvik kind of gets up and wanders unsteadily on his feet out the door, and presumably off on his mission for you, Saurus. And you guys are now alone in the tavern with Roland.
Okay. While Kamana and what am I thinking here?
My notes.
Yes. While Kamana and Abel are talking about the kitty,
Okay.
I'm going to pull Mara aside and give her a brief heads up about what I saw from the guy in the thing, that because she's likely to be the most paranoid one among us.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Also, she comes from the deep wood where she's seen some weird shit. So she's also probably the one who may or may not have run across this before.
Have
Of course,
I...
you might have and just go, "Oh, that's my uncle so and so," but
Right.
No.
Josh, would I have come across anything like that before, save obviously like what we saw with the kobolds?
No.
Okay.
The with the kobold like casting a spell, and it's almost like these shadows are being pulled out of nowhere and we're wrapping around him, and then summoning that shadow creature, like tearing a rift in the plane and summoning that shadow creature. All of that was incredibly fresh and like surprising and new for you.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is the next time he darts into an alley or something behind us, one of us needs to break off and follow him. One of the reasons I'm saying this to not everyone is that I don't trust Kamana to act natural and not call attention to us by going, "Hey, is that the guy?" or something like that.
Yeah.
So basically, the next time this happens, either you or me, whoever's in the best position, can slip away from the group while the other one keeps them marching forward and from calling attention to the fact that one of us has separated.
Yeah.
Just
Because
shouts
you're
out.
You're used to stalking in the woods, and I'm pretty stealthy myself. So between the two of us, we're also the most likely to be able to sneak up on the guy.
Yeah, probably.
I could turn into a squirrel though.
And that's your great stealth plan. It's
Yeah.
a squirrel.
Squirrels are just weird animals. You wouldn't think twice if one was just staring at you.
That's true. I would actually be
All
surprised
the
if they weren't.
decisiveness of a squirrel on acid in the middle of a superhighway.
Oh.
Josh is frozen again.
No, I froze
he's
for
back.
less time that time. So there we go.
I'll
Alright.
keep an eye out for
Yeah.
sure. Just, I
Excellent.
guess, signal me if you spot him again.
Or if you suddenly see me not there, just keep going.
Yeah, I won't worry about it.
All right.
Worry about another member disappearing.
At that, kind of, as you guys are all there, and as soon as Roland sees Tavik leave, he goes, "All right, fine, I will tell you. It's, I will trust you with my story if you would gather around. You're not close enough. Gather closer."
You've been waiting for this for a long time.
We all awkwardly huddle around.
not that close.
As
You
I roll my
smell
chair
weird.
forward.
No. So you've seen my visitor friend. You've asked me about him before, and I know that I've convinced you very, very convincingly that he's just, somebody working for the town and things. But I'm afraid that's not the case. So about 6 months ago or so, the town of Broadfield went bankrupt. And so I was, as I was a new mayor, I've only been the mayor for about a year. I thought, well, I need to do something to bring the town back to some level of prosperity. And so I started trying to build things and draw people's attention to the town, and that didn't work. We had like 2 new visitors, and they didn't spend any money. They just wanted to look at things. There's some cows nearby that are really attractive cows, and they just wanted to go see the cows, and so it didn't work. And so I burnt through what was left of the money, and so I was looking for. It was almost like Providence. I was spending the night trying to figure out what we should do, and then this man shows up out of nowhere, seemingly, and he offers to give the town a loan, and of a very substantial amount of money, and the deal seemed. He didn't ask much interest. He didn't say that the payment would be due soon, and it felt like it was a good deal for the town, and so I took that, and with it was able to build up some of the new structures and advertise for the Adventurers Guild and do all of these elements. But in the last few weeks he's been returning to say that it's time that we pay him back, and frankly the town doesn't have the money to do that, and so I'm a little concerned. He seems his most recent threat is that as far as he's concerned, the town can burn. So that's the shadowy figure that you've seen. His name is Soren, and or at least that's the name he gave me, and he
No relation.
not Soris, sorry, Soren Nerida, and he
What was his last name again?
Nerida. He was such a nice fellow when he first arrived, but he's gotten a lot more cruel, and
How much do
threatening.
you owe?
Oh well, the town owes,
I made sure to make it an LLC.
It's not me, of course. No, it's about 1,000 gold.
And how much do you have?
Oh, not 1,000 gold.
More specific.
Well, I think the town coffers last I did the books, and I'm not very good at them, but the last time I looked at the books, we had about 100 gold. That was before the Adventurers'
What?
Day festival, so perhaps we're looking better than that, but definitely not 1,000. And he says that he plans on coming back in a couple days with reinforcements to collect.
Where does this man come from?
Well,
Where did he-
that's a good question because I have no idea. He said that he was from the coast. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. He said.
We'll sell you the
yeah,
whole seat, but you'll
Yeah.
only need the edge.
Yep. He said he was from the coast and that he was a representative of powerful and wealthy coastal people or maybe island people. I don't know quite, but and that they were interested in investing in the mainland so that they could kind of set a foothold in the mainland, and they wanted to attach themselves to a town that wanted to grow and get bigger and stronger, and so it all felt very much like a mutually beneficial relationship, but I think it's definitely turned more into kind of a loan shark
Do you have a
type
contract?
thing. He has the contract. I didn't ask for a copy, but yes, there is a contract.
This guy is like one red hat away from damn coastal elites. But Kaimata would take this point to turn to you, Soros, and ask you what a loan is.
Oh, he's so cute.
Thesaurus, no.
Well, that was what I was about to say. It's I'm going to look at Kamana for a moment. Abel,
What is a loan? It is when you borrow something and you have to pay it back. And usually you have to give back more than you borrowed.
That seems
What?
like a bad deal.
Yes, you borrow 5 shiny things and you must give back 6 shiny things.
I would never do that.
then you're a better businessman than our friend Roland here.
Look, I was looking out for the town. The previous mayor left us in really dire straits. He made several bad business deals, and he built a whole
And
paddock.
so now have you.
Well,
Right, yeah, no, I mean, the tavern looks great. How much did this cost? More than 1,000? I'm just gonna guess.
No, I don't. I'm not exactly sure the final cost, but a town needs a good tavern. And look, you've already brought in 100 gold or so to the community.
Only
So
900 and more, yes.
yes, but in the long term, this will be a very good investment. I mean, the last mayor, the only thing he did was built that paddock for those beautiful cows. So I was making Broadfield
They
something
are beautiful
greater.
cows.
No, the
I like
cows are
cows.
stunning, and I will thank you not to insult them.
No.
But I don't.
But it seemed,
I feel like his threat is a real threat.
yes.
When he comes back, you give him 100 gold. You point out that if the city burns, he won't get the rest of the 900,
Yes, precisely.
and that you will still pay him the remaining 1,000. That this is just a good faith show for extra time.
I'm under, based on our last conversation, I'm under the impression that it's now or never, and he's not necessarily concerned if he gets the money back.
And that makes no sense.
I know, that's what
Yes,
bothers
which
me the
island is
most
he
about
from?
it.
So who would want to burn your town down? Who would want to build you up to tear you down?
Somebody who wants to send a message, maybe.
That's
Did
what
he
it's
say exactly when he'd be coming back?
A day or two.
There is no way we could get 900 gold in 2 days.
No. I'm wondering if, perhaps he's all bluster and A show of
No.
force?
Probably not. I'm just gonna take
Doubt
a wild guess.
Oh.
No reason to think that. Just gut feeling.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
We should take this threat at steady sword.
well, if he's from the coast, he's a long way from any kind of friends of his. So perhaps
His kind can always hire friends.
that's fair.
Yes.
You'd be surprised
Uh,
what people will do for money.
Exactly. All it would take was a sack of gold, and someone would easily light a torch in your town.
Hmm. Well, perhaps a show of force from you might make that exchange go safer. Because right now Broadfield
won't
is
always-
an unsafe community. We have a few watchmen, but we don't have a large military presence. But with the four of you, perhaps he might be more amenable to that solution, as you point out, Soros.
Do you know which islands he comes from?
No, like I said,
Yeah.
coast or islands. He called
Coastal.
himself. He called himself the Watcher of this region. He said he was the Watcher, and I don't know what he was referring to or why he gave himself that title. But
Okay,
Kaimana
For
can
future
roll a
reference-
history check if you'd like.
I
Say that
can.
again.
Yeah, when you hear him say the Watchers and referring to islands, you can go ahead and roll a history check. And then, yeah, what was your thing, Rob?
for future reference, if anybody refers to them as the Watcher, the Overseer, the one who waits, don't make a deal with them.
That was a 10, Josh.
A 10. You've heard the phrase "the Watcher" before. You aren't sure. It is something that people within your community in the Vanishing Isles have said. Never in a positive way, but you're not sure what the connection is.
I don't know, but it's not good.
Mm,
Yes, well, he didn't introduce himself as the Watcher. He said, "Hi, I'm Soren, and I have a deal," and it was very polite. It's only been recently. I think he's trying to use it as a threat, but I don't understand what the threat is. He's not being very clear, so I just...
But
how often?
I think the threat is you're gonna have to rename the town Ashborough.
Well, I don't
It's
want
very
to...
clever.
I don't want to
That's it,
do
worse than
that. I don't want to do that. But like I said, I feel like with you standing behind me in that deal, I think you four look somewhat threatening. So perhaps it.
I slowly look over at the rest of the party.
I mean, we're probably gonna be standing in front, if we're honest.
Sure.
I mean, I think
yes.
it's probably gonna come to blows. I'm just gonna take a wild guess
Yes.
on this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably. Well, maybe.
How
Maybe-
often does he contact you?
Well, it's been several months since we made the initial deal, and he was kind of coming by once a month or so to check in.
And he always meets
But
in person.
there are a couple times he sent what did he call them? He sent a pawn. A pawn, yes, he sent a pawn to come and talk with us. But in the last week, he's come by every day,
So he's still here in town. That is
as far as I know.
correct.
Did you see him? You saw him leave. So
Yes, I believe we did see him. Perhaps we
Did
should.
he ever have anybody else with him?
well, there was the first time he came with a man that he said he called him his pawn, the pawn,
I'm looking at Saurus right now.
a pawn.
when he says the pawn.
A pawn. Anyway, he said something, and he introduced him and said that if this man could be a liaison in the original deals, but as the threats of retribution they've come directly from Soren.
Did he not travel with anybody? Just him?
Aside from that one time where he came with the other man, no, it's always just been him. But he did say that he will be returning with force. So I assume that means he might be bringing more people. I don't know. I don't
No, I guess
understand
we're gonna-
ruffians.
There are lots of chess references.
Seems like we gotta stay in town for the next day or two and make sure.
Who is Chess? You talk about him and his pieces.
Chess is a game of intellect, my friend.
A pawn. Oh, I was just thinking like a pawn, like this is my minion, you know.
Well, probably that too.
Yeah. But he did call him a pawn.
Don't we have something like that?
Yes, I'll reach into the bag of holding, and I'll pull out the witchwood carved king. Is it a king piece?
King piece,
Chess-
yeah. Are you showing it to Roland?
Yeah, I'll show it to Roland.
So that's very nice. Dragon's chess piece.
Yes. Have you seen anything like it? Is it significant in this area?
No, I mean, I have my own dragon chess set, but it's not made out of that type of wood.
Do you know anyone who works with this type of wood? I see. I was like, Grace made a face, and I was just like, wait a minute.
I truly about nothing. I just made a face.
Just a face. No, I don't know anybody who works with. I don't even know what kind of wood that is. Is that? It's interesting.
Well, if you don't recognize it, then don't worry about it.
Yes.
I'll put it back in my little bag. I'll say, do you think we should patrol the town and look for this individual discreetly?
I guess I really leave any of those types of decisions up to your much more capable hands.
Yes, I was asking my group.
Oh, sorry. I'll sit here quietly then.
Just drink your milk. It'll be fine.
Yes.
So do we need to, I guess, make a plan for what we're doing?
Yes, we've seen him in town. He's coming by every day this week to speak with Roland, so he must be staying somewhere close by.
He said he'd be back in a day or two.
Yes,
And,
and I doubt that he's traveling from the coast all the way to Broadfield in a day or two. So,
stranger things have happened.
Yes.
true. I say we perhaps patrol the town discreetly, see if we can find him.
Maybe we
Maybe
just stay here, stake out this place. He's got to
Yeah,
come back sometime.
He's gonna come
He's
here.
gonna accept him. Be ready.
Oh, okay. That is
And then what are we gonna do? I mean, I guess that'll take a day or two. What are we gonna do after that?
Well, I feel like maybe that's gonna change how we think about things after.
Sure.
I was thinking that in the interim, we could get Roland to send for someone from the Temple of the Third Eye who speaks Draconic, so we can find out what's going with Wash Bjord while waiting for this fellow to show back up.
Yeah, someone discreet.
Yes. Wait, where did you send the leader of the slaughter, or the now
He
disbanded
is going
slaughter?
to Ipswich to pick up some blasting powder, and then he is swinging back by the temple on his way back to try and get somebody to come here.
Okay. Do you not trust that he will complete his mission?
Not quickly.
Okay.
He also doesn't seem like. I can say this. He doesn't seem like the most charismatic person. So
And that means something coming from you.
it does mean something. Like recognize like.
Mhm.
And
Oh.
if we end up having two scholars here, then it increases the likelihood that we will get answers. And if only one shows up from whoever summons, whether it be him or from
Okay.
Roland summoning,
I see your plan. Yeah, I agree. Well, let's see if Roland can send word and get us a scholar to read Draconic, and we will stake out the area to see if our shadowy cloaked friend will show back up.
Hey, Ava,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
he's got any of the buns left?
now Grace is frozen.
Oh no, me?
No, I just think Grace.
No.
I just think Grace stopped moving.
She was just very scared.
I truly just went stationary. Listen, sometimes I space out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you were doing like
1,000-yard stare.
As you guys are talking, Roland kind of just says, I'll go check in with the lawmaster and see if the representative from the monastery has come by. Feel free. There's drinks in the back, mostly milk, apparently. I over-ordered. And so you...
Oh no.
But it does come from the beautiful cows, so it's good. But I'll go check with the lawmaster. Feel free. I'll be back. I'll be back soon.
Yes.
And he goes
Yeah,
out.
I'm gonna go pull off a tankard, and then I'm gonna ask Abel if he's got any more of the buns left.
Okay.
Do I have any more buns? How many buns did we get for?
I gave him one from mine.
She gave you she gave you a good baker's dozen, so you guys have 13.
Oh yeah, okay.
Bun party.
Are they in my
Let's
bag
go.
of holding?
Yeah. So you pull
Yeah,
out the
I'll
buns, you spread them out. These are also different than all the other buns you've had. So you've had different flavors. These look like they have flowers on top, look like elderberry flowers that she's kind of like put into them. And when you pull them apart, there are currants, like golden currants, like baked into the bread. And the top seems like it's been brushed with like rose water.
Mm. She's been experimenting with her recipe.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's very good, and the milk is creamy and fresh and delicious. Those cows make some.
Got like a little mustache.
I need Ace to do that art of Kaimana with the milk
Drawing.
mustache.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Am I drinking milk in the sweet bun?
Mm-hmm.
No, with a milk mustache.
All right. So you're here, and you're here, and you're free of any other listening ears. If there's anything you wanted to bring up before Roland returns.
In this watch.
There was something I had earlier. Let me think.
Yes, I am a bit concerned.
I
about
can
that.
I can try to check in with my order and see if they know anything about, I don't know, these kind of people. And is that helpful? Wherever
that's
this
something we did.
That would be
soaring
excellent.
is from.
The Watcher.
Yeah. See if they
I
know
wonder if I
anything.
could-
And if nothing else, one, then that someone's threatening to start a fire really close to the forest.
Yes.
So
Is there some way that I could send word to? So my father is currently in the Alyrian capital as a representative from Nuevia, since he is the royal smith and builder. We have traded an airship with Alyria. Maybe I could send word and see if they know anything about these people from the coast, the Watcher,
Yes.
and Soren. What is his name?
Nerida.
The Soren Nerida. Is there any way that I could send a message or a messenger to the capital from here?
You haven't seen anything like a post office or anything. There's, generally speaking, you would probably find those services at a good general store, that they might have a courier service.
Okay. I knew I should have learned the sending spell from my mother before I left. Okay. Is there a general store that I could?
Yeah, you've been to
Heavy.
it before. Yep.
yeah, his wife runs it.
Yeah, Joss
Okay.
runs the general store.
Didn't you find the egg in there that was thrown at the girl?
Yep,
Mm.
the
I
golden
thought it was
egg.
in the courtyard,
It all
right?
ties back together.
Yeah.
It's full circle.
Yeah.
I feel like
The
Charlie
narrative's
Day
really
in
just
front of the.
weaving together.
Yeah.
Charlie did.
Oh.
Okay, I will go to the general store.
Okay.
See
So-
if I might be-
So Abel heads out to, it's straight across the mall. So as Abel's going, Mar, are you gonna contact, or are you gonna wait to do that till a little bit later?
I'll go ahead and contact now. I'll step out into the alley to do it.
Okay.
Just I'm not like on speakerphone.
Yeah,
in
and
front of everyone.
and we were totally just like riffing with it the last time, but it is a sending spell, so it's 25 words and then a response
Cool.
of 25 words. Yeah.
Great.
Oh,
Let me think of something.
Why do I have to?
My most esteemed colleague.
It only goes to one person.
Yeah,
I need to be fair.
the
Like,
sending
it's-
stone.
it's
Yeah,
Truly, I can contact my boss and no one else.
no one else, and she
Okay,
can
so
contact
it's a
you
sending stone.
once a
Alright.
day. Yeah. All right, so Abel, as Mars preparing her message, you head across and you open the doors to the general store, and Joss is there, and she's like, "Oh, it's so good to see you again. Welcome, ticket taker. What can I do for you?"
Hello, ma'am. How are you today?
"Oh, I'm just fantastic. How are you?"
I am doing well.
"Oh, good.
I wanted to see if I could have a message sent to the capital.
Oh, you need a courier service."
Yes.
"Oh,
I want to make sure
yes. Just
the message is sent.
just one moment. One moment. Derek, get in here." Oh yes. Okay. So what can I do for you?
Someone
Yes.
looks traumatized.
And so she pulls out a pad, and she's like, "Yes, what would you like to be sent?"
I need to send a message to my father in the capital.
"Oh, yeah, where do you know where he is in the capital?"
Should be in the palace.
Your
He should be
your your
in
father
the palace.
your father's in the palace.
Yes, he is a representative from Nuevia. He's there as Nuevia's royal smith and builder. He helped to construct one of the airships that we are gifting to the capital of Alyria. I want to see if he can ask around about some of the troubles that you are having here in Broadfield. Maybe
The more you
if they
talk,
could send what?
the more you talk, the more like her mouth just slowly like just falls open, like you know somebody who lives in
Like
who's
so
in
he's like, yeah, my dad's a mechanic.
Yeah.
He just
What?
he builds Ferraris for Enzo and
yeah. We can.
These are very normal things for Abel. Okay.
Okay, so so to to Palace Hill, okay. And what is your father's name and title?
His name is Ogun, Ogun, and he is the royal smith, builder, and designer for Nuevia.
Okay, that's a long title. Okay, and she writes that down. Ogun.
Yes.
Okay. And so she writes that. And then what would you like your message to be?
I would like him to please ask if there is any knowledge of a gentleman named Soren. Was it Nardia? Nardia?
Nerida.
Nardia.
like Merida from Brave,
Yeah.
only with an N.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, Nardia. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you, Soris. Who came with me apparently.
When the moment you say Soren Nerida, she like looks up at you for a second, and then kind of goes back to writing.
Is that an issue? Do you know the name?
Well, my husband has talked about him, so yes.
What do you know specifically about the deal they made?
Well, if you've talked to my husband, he probably has told you, I hope. But the man offered gold to the town as a form of partnership. It seemed like a mutual investment. And then that mutual investment has turned into threats against the town and my husband's life. But you're looking for information about him. That's good. Yes.
Yes. I want to see if anyone from the capital knows of him. If he's done these types of things before, maybe he is on the radar of other law enforcement in Alyria.
Okay. So you tell her all that, and she writes it all out. And then as she's talking, like that little.
And also, I want
go
to
ahead.
see if it's possible for them to send maybe reinforcements if the town is going to is in danger. Would the capital send any lawmen to help us to keep order and keep everyone safe.
Okay, so that's a good idea, and she writes all that out, and then I know that Roland has spoken with the lawmaster about potentially getting more watchmen to the town with these threats. So with this, hopefully, maybe, and then as she's saying, like talking to you, that the little kid that was watching the cart the first day, he kind of comes in, and I mean, I guess not a teenager. He comes in and she's like, "We have a delivery. It needs to go to the capital city. If you'll take it to the courier post and have them deliver it." And she rolls it up and seals it and hands it off. And Derek goes out.
How long will it take for the message to reach the capital?
Oh, well, it'll get to the courier post today, and if they leave immediately by horse, it's about 2 days travel by horse.
Okay.
When they're going as fast as they do with the courier post. So.
All right. So it will take 2 days to get there, 2 days to get back.
Yes. So. Yeah.
Okay. It is the best I can do.
All right.
How much do I owe you for the courier services?
It's 5 silver.
And I will give you 5 silver.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tip.
I'm from the royal.
Oh no.
We don't know anything about tipping.
They don't tip in
my
Noavia.
God.
It's like Europe.
On the palace wall, but I know
You have one of
people
those,
do
you
for
have
me,
one
okay?
of those fake silver coins with like a cross on the back that says Jesus loves you.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
All right, and then Mar, you're kind of there, ready to go with your message.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I pull out my sending stone and I go, hey, someone named Soren Narita or the Watcher is threatening to burn Broadfield, supposedly from the coast, and makes chess puns. You know anything?
Is that exactly 25 words?
It is exactly 25
Nice.
words.
That is awesome.
So a moment passes, and then you hear the familiar voice.
No.
No, I don't think that rings a bell. Although the Watcher does. See if you know or can find out any information about the Syndicate. That's as much as I've got.
Maybe I should have waited.
Do I get another message back?
It's once a day.
Once
Yeah,
a day.
yeah.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah. You get the
I thought I
impression
should
that
have
like
waited to send my letter until after I
You-
figured out what Bard knew.
yeah, you get the impression from her message that like Watcher and Syndicate made a connection in her head, but that's as much information as she knew to give you or could give you.
Okay. I go back and just tell Source and Kaimana about the Syndicate.
Does that trip any memories in Kamana?
Kaimana, hearing that, you can roll a history check with advantage.
That's a 12.
With advantage,
With
that was
advantage.
12?
Oh.
Yep. Mhm.
A 12.
Yes, it was. So before, like, you know, it was just the general idea of like, I've heard Watcher before, and I know that that's a bad thing. Syndicate is a much more powerful, a negative emotional response to you. As they're talked about on your island, is that when the Syndicate ships arrive, they require a tax, and if the tax isn't paid, then villages have been destroyed before, and this happens all over the Vanishing Isles.
They're no good.
Yeah.
No good at all. No, don't like it.
I'll head back over to the.
And
All
actually,
damaging.
so you're not with them yet, Abel. Do you guys
Yeah, I
tell
was-
Abel this
I'm
when he
still
gets
there.
back? Do you guys inform him of all this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Abel, you also can roll a history check now that you've heard the term syndicate.
Are those the people who attacked our airship?
You don't know that.
Not yet.
Right. A natural 20.
Natural
plus
20.
4.
Well, you didn't need a natural. You really needed a 10 just to be like, oh, I recall information. But natural 20, whatever. You've met the syndicate before, or you've met members of the syndicate before, or you've met people who worked for the syndicate. Ravik's ship.
Oh no!
Like Ravik's
I know of the syndicate.
Ravik's crew, like the ship he worked on, they were they called themselves contractors, but they contracted with the syndicate. And you know the full term. The name of the organization is the Tide Warders Syndicate.
I know this one moment.
Damn Chesapeake pirates.
Yeah. And they don't call themselves pirates. They call themselves privateers. But they...
So they have a writ of the mark.
Yeah.
Or a writ of mark.
Yeah, but they are, as in Nuevia, there is, like, the Nuevian Navy has put a embargo that if they see any syndicate ships in Nuevian waters, that they'll get blasted out of the water.
Yes, I will let my fellow takers know of the Tidewater Syndicate, and they are persona non grata in Nuevian waters.
Warder, like Warders Syndicate, not water.
Yeah, sorry, Tide Waters.
Warders.
Syndicate.
Not New Jersey water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some water.
Yeah.
Water.
Persona non
But
grata in Nuevian waters.
But why would they be interested in Broadfield?
I mean, he told him, right? They want to start moving into the mainland. Maybe it's like a...
Yes, they want to hold them in
Takeover.
their lands.
But someplace
it-
much closer to the coast would be easier to start your expansion.
Maybe they want to get to the forest.
It is hard to say. So one moment, wait, I want to look back through my notes from my session 0.
Note taking.
Note taking, it's a beautiful thing. Take a lot of notes.
All right. As Abel's looking through his notes, anybody else? Okay.
Okay, so was it the Squall Eater?
The Squall Eater was the name of the ship.
The ship that the captain, was it Aryan? What's her name?
The captain of the Squall Eater was
Yes.
Aryan Squall Eater.
I
Wait,
know,
no, the
that's
ship.
solid.
The ship is the Sea Blade. Her name's Squall Eater.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
the ship is the Sea Blade. I met her, and she apparently contracts with the Tide Waters.
Warders.
Tide Warder.
Warder.
Waters.
Warders of the Tide.
Oh, we lost that one.
Yes, the Tide Water. She contracts with the syndicate.
With them.
With the-
You know, those guys.
and I don't have any way to communicate. They seem like a very I knew what they were doing was not completely legal, but they decided
Okay.
to align themselves with people who would threaten to burn down the entire town.
So we know he's not bluffing, and he probably very much is coming back with reinforcements.
This is true.
Still doesn't answer why. Why would you risk your money on Roland?
Let's try to get it out of him.
I don't have
Boyd.
much experience with people, but even I know better than that.
Yes. It was only 1,000 gold. I feel like that is not a lot of money for an entire organization like the syndicate.
No, but it's a lot of money for a small town. Why would you risk it? Particularly if they're having to borrow it because they've been badly managed before.
Especially if you're just going to burn it down if they can't pay it back, and you probably could tell they weren't going to pay it back, right?
Well,
Roland's not exactly the most trustworthy guy around. I think we could all tell that within the first 5 seconds of meeting him.
absolutely.
He's not trustworthy?
All right, well, you know, I take that back. That was an assumption on me, and I won't Won't do that again.
I'm glad we found Kamado.
I say, I have crazy high insight. I just don't use it.
But you can find shiny things. That's what's important. Regardless of their reasoning, I do believe these people are cities, so we need to be on our guard.
So, stake out, stay here.
Yes.
Yes, I feel like we
Yes.
should stay close
Shadow
to
Roland. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
they will seek him out before they, I guess, make one final attempt to receive their money, and then they will make their move against the town.
If I see him, I'd be sure to let you know where he is.
And he's seen us the last couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably factoring us into the equation when he brings back his assistants. So we're not going to be able to just cow him easily.
Yes, you said that these people, that the crew of the Sea Blade, which I've already met,
Yeah.
They just contract with the syndicate.
What they told
But-
you was that
which-
they were privateers who were contracted with they used to be, Aryan Squall Leader used to be one of the ranking members of the Tidewarders Syndicate, but she kind of set out on her own, and now she just does like independent like contracting work with them because she was tired of, you know, being a tax collector, and so now they send that crew particularly off to find ancient artifacts connected to the city of Azalor.
Well, she left the Tidewaters officially.
She told you she did, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, that's what she told me. That's what I know.
Yep.
Do they have a chief, or is it? Are there other leaders in their syndicate? Do we know how it works?
Based on your earlier history check, you probably would not have heard. I mean, you get the sense that there is a hierarchy or an organization. Abel,
Yes, I was going to say, would I know anything about that? With
they,
them operating near New Avian waters?
yeah, I mean, you get the sense that, like, because she said that she was a higher ranking member of the organization, that there must be some type of hierarchy within their organization, and they probably have a leader that they answer to.
Do I know anything about who that would be, or have heard anything?
Roll another history check.
They're on the radar of like the New Avian. Oh, let me think. A history.
Yeah.
It's an 8 + 4, 12.
She didn't. You don't remember her mentioning a person's name. Yeah, but in all the time that you were with them, they never mentioned anything about like you were specifically trying to also think about like other connections you've made. They never mentioned anything about chess pieces or anything like that when you were talking with them. So that's not language that they used.
Okay.
When Roland gets back, we should ask if he mentioned his idea for the Adventurers Guild to this Soren as part of his pitch for why he needed the money.
So would he be looking out for people like us? Yeah?
Exactly.
Wants control over people like us.
Mm.
It was Soren's idea. I'm a little apprehensive.
We
What
don't know.
If we have ill-gotten tickets, I don't like that idea.
Oh, the tickets will come to bite you back.
The tickets we have taken have been above board.
Mm-hmm.
The tickets that they took.
The tickets strike back. All right. Around that time, as you guys have kind of had this conversation or so, the door opens from the thing, and it's not Roland entering in. You see an older gentleman walk in, darker skinned, hair in silver, peppery, white, and black, or white and gray hair in twisted dreadnoughts going out, and then like long down his back, wearing a very ornate robe. Not ornate, sorry, not like beautiful, but like a very intricate robe of indigo colored and violet coloration. Similar in a lot of ways, Source, to the monks that you trained with. Very similar style, but different coloration to the robe. And he kind of walks in, and he's sleeveless tunic, ripped arms, just very muscular, with like spiraling tattoos that kind of go down his arm in like this bluish, shimmery bluish ink. It almost like when it catches the light and shimmers in the light, and he has like deep dark eyes, and he kind of walks in and he says, "So, are you the ticket takers?"
I give him a bow of respect.
Well, now Kaimana's like all suspicious because of this conversation now.
Oh no!
Oh no!
His
Who
inside is kicking in.
Who asking?
Oh yes.
Turn Jersey for a second. Who are you and who's asking? Eh?
He kind of does like a Fire Nation bow. No, he does like an Avatar bow. And he bows back and he says, "My name is Herman. I'm from the monastery. I was with the lawmaster, and Roland said that you all were here, and that you needed some assistance."
Oh, yes. Do you speak dragon?
Oh, I do. Yes. I was the Nolish interpreter as well, but I also speak Draconic.
Oh, wonderful. Who has the paper?
Yes. It might be in the bag of holding. I reach in the bag of holding and pull out the
All right,
paper.
so you pull it out, and he kind
The
of
monastery of what now?
the monastery of the Third Eye.
The third eye.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Does he have a third eye?
Third eye, is that?
No, but
Kamana is looking for it.
Kaimana is unimpressed.
he does have like there's a symbol on his tunic of three eyes, and from the top eye there's like rays of light that are kind of shooting down and enveloping the other two, and then above the eye there's like kind of triangular kind of rays that are above the eye, so that's there. But yeah.
The
Is the
Illuminati.
third eye that Metasansi?
Yeah, Metasansi. So the third eye is what Roland told you before, is that the monastery is directly connected to the Acumen, and the Acumen are one of the main organizations within the tribe of Metasansi.
Okay.
They run the libraries and whatever. Yes.
You guys.
So you hand over the letter from Wash?
Yes.
Okay. So he
This
takes.
was from a friend of ours, and we do not speak Draconic. If you could please help us translate.
That's odd for a friend to write a letter in a language you don't speak or can read. But
Yeah, it was
He
really
probably
weird.
did not know.
so he takes it for a moment. He says,
He is quite theatrical.
well, I don't think you have anything to worry about. He says that he needs to travel to the capital city to find the man under the bridge, and to search for his mother figure.
I don't think we ever walked over a bridge.
He's in the capital city.
Yes, he says he's going to Alyria, the capital. Mm-hmm.
Does he say that he's expecting to return, or is that the extent of it?
It's mostly just, that's pretty much it. He doesn't mention time frames or anything.
Okay. Well, if he's in the capital,
Sully.
just
She's trying to reset
just
the
let it
Wi-Fi.
happen, guys. Just let it happen. She's gonna do what she's gonna do.
I just like the tail peeking out.
I know.
It's really
Do you
good.
see it? No,
Yeah.
they're laughing at you.
Um,
It's okay. Okay, but we must respect his decisions.
he's
He is still a ticket taker.
yeah, and
Yes.
Herman's there, and he's looking, and he notices the way you're kind of carrying yourself, Saurus, and he says, "I feel like we may share a kinship."
Yes.
Where where did you train?
Monastery of the Four Winds in
Oh,
Hightower.
interesting. Very interesting school. if you if you have an opportunity, you should stop by the Third Eye.
I would
Has
appreciate that.
has it been long since you've last trained?
It's been a week,
Yeah, you may.
but I've had some exercise in the interim.
Good. You're always welcome at ours. We firmly believe in the free sharing of knowledge and skills, and we would be happy for you to come and watch the way we train and what skills we can impart. And you may peruse our library or anything else at any time, of course.
I appreciate it. By the way, have you ever heard the name Aramon?
Ahriman or Aramon. That does not ring a bell. Do you have any context for the name?
Apparently he's
Religious. I Rob's brain dead, so I can't think of the exact words, but basically something to the extent of, I saw it in the iconography of a religious sect where he was referred to. So he's got some kind of powerful being of some kind.
Religious order Ahriman. Interesting. Religion is not my specialty. I mostly focus on indigenous populations of the Riverlands, but we do have a religious scholar at the monastery. I'd be happy to pass on that information to them and see if they can do some research for you.
That would be appreciated.
Yes. Anything else I can help you with? I know that you all wanted to speak to the knoll at some point, or that's why I was sent for.
Yes, we do.
Well, I'm. If you don't need me, I can head back over to the Lawmaster, and I left all my books there, and I've got a lot of reading to do, so I'm happy to sit around in town for the afternoon, and whenever you can stop by, you're more than welcome to stop over.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, brother.
And he bows and then kind of exits back out.
Mars, you should go interrogate the knoll.
By myself. Okay.
Abel can go with you.
Yeah. I am into this in what types
I
of
don't
book.
feel great about doing violence in front of a monk.
Oh no! You should have to just ask first. You shouldn't have to do violence, but
Right.
Maybe
yeah.
Abel should go.
well, I was thinking that Marlowe has an air of threat about her,
Yes, she's much more
So-
intimidating than me.
as opposed to Kamana or myself asking. He's much more likely to listen and be inclined to answer
You know,
correctly
I
the first
thought
time.
the Noel and I had like a bond going, so maybe I can use that and kind of follow through on that thread and really
Absolutely.
get in there.
Absolutely.
You know?
I think you're onto something.
All right. I'm convinced.
Indeed.
I head out.
Okay, and Abel goes with you.
Yes, I'll go with her.
I don't wait for Abel. If Abel comes, Abel comes.
All right. So you guys have been kind of talking in there for a few hours, probably kind of chilling and waiting and thinking and doing all these things. And so you're kind of, it's getting approaching mid-afternoon or so. And you head out, and as you kind of are walking past, there's a moment where you are approaching the Lawmaster's thing, and then you see, like, right in front of your feet, Mar, a dagger, like, hits into the ground right in front of you. And then you look around. Go ahead and roll a perception check. And Abel, you can as
With
well.
advantage.
You're not helping
'Cause I-
her. This is happening so
21.
quickly. 21. Okay. So
She don't need it.
as
She
you're
doesn't.
looking around, like you kind of are peering, and on the roof of one of the buildings, like nearby, you see a cloak kind of twisting, and then you see a person running across the top of the roof, and then they jump off the roof into the alleyway between that roof and the building, or those two buildings there.
Great, I'm running. I'm gonna get him. And I pick up the
That's it
dagger.
for yourself.
Okay, you go to pick up the dagger, and the moment you grab it, your hand just goes through it, and it vanishes into smoke.
Oh.
Oh,
I run after him.
Okay,
I
Abel.
go right behind you.
Okay, so you two are chugging. You turn around into the alleyway, and right there, standing in the alleyway, you see like his cloak or his hood pulled back now. You see a man standing there. Let me pull up what he looks like. Half elf, kind of tanned skin, jet black hair, with like almost looks like just like silver streaks, very similar kind of like in the way that your hair streaked, Mar, but jet black hair with silver streaks, and it's long and kind of back in the top, and then one side is shaved, but it doesn't look like it's shaved for fashion. He has a large scar that kind of goes from his cheek back a little bit, and so he looks like he's shaving it just because the hair probably doesn't grow there very well anyways.
God, he's like stealing my whole look.
No.
And he's
My brand.
he has
That could be only one.
yeah. Now that his cloak is kind of thrown over his shoulder, you see he's got this really distinctive leather armor on that's sleeveless, and in a scabbard at his hip is a very fine-looking rapier. And then on his other hip are 3 or 4 daggers. And he's just kind of standing there looking at you with a smirk on his face.
Fuck are you?
I don't think it's time for us to tango. And he immediately, he chucks 2 daggers and then runs straight towards you. Neither of them hit, though.
Dodge him.
And he's running straight at you. Are you going to try to take a swing at him?
Oh, yes,
Okay.
for sure. I'm pulling out my rapier.
So you
and
pull out your
go
rapier.
for
Go
him.
ahead and roll an attack against him.
No. Oh, no way. I mean, a 12 is not gonna hit
No,
this
12
man.
doesn't hit. So you go and it's interesting because you go to swipe out at him, and suddenly you see as you're swiping, he kind of dodges back, and you see his hand kind of pull through the air and grab, and you see a shadowy rope pull out of the air, and it wraps around his arm, and then he pulls with his other one, and another one wraps around here, and he flicks his wrists apart, and he kind of spins and disappears into a burst of shadow, as it's almost like he's being sucked into a void, and you hear almost like the absence of clap, and he disappears from view. But then you see that void rip back open, and charging out of it is one of those shadow creatures, just like you saw with the shadow mage in the kobold fight. And that is where we will go ahead and end for tonight, and pick up next week.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
What about the other party members? They don't know this fight is going on.
It's just you and Mar.
Meanwhile, Kamana and Soros are sitting in the bar drinking milk.
Yeah, 100 Artificer, let's go.
It's very fine milk. Very fine.
Wait. Okay, can I backtrack and say I prepared some spells?
You prepared spells. You had a long
We had a
rest, so
long
you prepared
rest,
spells. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I think I'm pretty good with the spells I have.
You got a whole week to figure out what you want.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mar,
So did I recognize anything about that whole dude, except for the fact that he kind of vaguely looks like me?
no, you've never seen him before.
Yeah.
Cool.
And
Elves are
he
pretty
wasn't-
like girls.
I guess.
No.
You steal my whole hair? I'm so mad.
Yeah. And
He was not one of the members that was on the Seablade, right? They're not the Tide warders anymore.
You have never. He was not on the Seablade. No, you don't recognize him.
One more question:
Yeah.
was he talking to both Abel and me, or was he very specific at me?
You spoke to him, so he was responding to you. Yeah.
Cool, but he was like, it was at both of us.
Yeah, and when he threw the daggers at you, when they didn't make contact, you saw them kind of like fly past and then just disappear in a puff of smoke. Yeah.
That's so cool. I'm so angry.
Oh, I want shadow powers too.
Wow.
All right. So we will pick up to next week with
Yep.
this fight with this shadow creature. Second time you've seen one.
Yeah, I gotta find out somehow in this fight.
Meanwhile,
Mars
Mana's going to get some of Saurus's backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
we're gonna
Drunk
roll.
hot milk.
We're gonna roll initiative, and it'll be like on Mar and Abel's initiative, we have the fight, and then on Saurus and Kaimana's initiative, they're having a conversation.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So we
love
can just
it.
cut back and forth.
I love
yeah,
it.
we'll do that.
I
be
love
great.
that.
Yeah.
Because
Jump
it's
cut.
like really heavy action and we're like bloodied and the beast is like going crazy and then it just cuts to this really peaceful conversation over some salt.
Cuts to elevator music.
I think I used.
I find it interesting. I need to figure out what Saurus is going to share with Abel, or what he's going to do, because he's being very particular, because he's still new to this and who he trusts and what. So
Oh no.
creature, and if we face off against the bishop, he needs to be warned because he's perfect candidate for that. So he needs to know that. Mar is the stalker fighter, and knows shadow things, and obviously being at home in the forest knows about all kinds of suspect things more than our innocent city and innocent country dweller. So okay, you're the one here. So it'll be interesting to see what connection he ends up with Ronnie. Maybe it's when he goes to make his bullets and and ammo to restock his stash.
Your tech guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll probably be that, but it's being very deliberate. And I'm being very deliberate in what I'm going to. It's like I should tell the whole party so everyone knows. No.
Yeah.
It's only been 4 days.
No, you
No,
gotta
yeah.
tease that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Josh about that. I was like, it feels like I have to remember that we've only been a group for like not even a week yet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I want all the backstory, and it's like, well, you just met him a week,
Yep.
not even a week. So just,
All right.
We
Good
know
night,
so much
guys.
about each other.
Yeah. Good
All
night,
right, have a good one.
everybody. See y'all next week.